like as of right now, I feel like it kind of came a little bit more natural to me. I'm assuming like when the racing's, closer and tighter, lap over lap, and there's three cars coming in the mix, I'm sure it's going to be, way harder, and you get put, three wide sometimes. It's going to be tough, but yeah, that was something, very different.
Yeah.
All the cars in general I've been in, you sit in the middle, so you can kind of see, all your corners and, everything you need to see. So it definitely is different, though.
Jade Avedisian, our guest on the ProFabrication.com hotline, fall brawl winner at Hickory of the Pro Late Model. What's up in the next few weeks or so for you, and where does the races take you?
I'm actually done for the year. Hickory was my last race for the year, so I'm not sure, what I'm going to be doing next year. But right now we're just, getting my body back to 100%, getting, stronger, getting ready to give it, our best shot. Coming our first race next year. So yeah, we're just working hard. Kind of everything outside of, the racetrack right now, but. Yeah, we'll be ready by the first of the year.
Congratulations, Jade, on the victory at Hickory Motor Speedway. Appreciate you taking the time to be on the ProFab hotline. Fans, give her a follow on social media and hang on, because 2025 is right around the corner and more victories in the future as we watch Jade continue her journey. Fans, stay with us. We'll be right back with more.
At Hunt Brothers Pizza, you can choose from 10 toppings at no extra charge. In a hurry, call ahead to place an order or grab a hunk of pizza on the go. Find the nearest location at huntbrotherspizza.com and follow me, Joey Logano, all season long.
Whether your engine runs daily or only when you need it, Z-Max Micro Lubricant is the force you need against carbon buildup that can damage your engine. Combustion causes carbon and other harmful deposits to build up on your engine, fuel system, and transmission. And carbon is like sandpaper rubbing against your engine's internal parts. You don't want that. You want Z-Max Micro Lubricant. It soaks into metal and keeps your vehicle running at peak performance. Find out more at zmax.com or visit us on Facebook and Twitter. Protect your engine to the max with Z-Max. We've got more PRNs at the track in a moment on PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
I work my tractors really hard. I give all they've got. I demand as much horsepower as they can possibly give me. I tell you what, I've had these Coyote tractors for probably 10 years now. They've served me well. Been good.
Your Coyote dealer is Weston Sales, Highway 18 North, the 27 West intersection in Vail.
Francis Brothers Used Cars, now in their 56th year in business, has proudly served the people of Cleveland and Rutherford counties since 1969 with a great selection of nice buy-here, pay-here cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. Don, Bino, and Casey invite you to check out their inventory. They look forward to helping you get your next vehicle and to offering oil changes, OBD inspections, brake work, shocks, axles, CV joints in their service center. Francis Brothers Used Cars and Service Center, 134 North Main Street in downtown Bowling Springs. See them for your next automotive buy or service.
I wish I had another drink. I wouldn't be so hot to sink. I should have taken time to think. Besides, I got the picture straight. You must have had another date. I didn't need this extra weight. I wish that I could see the way to shop. I don't want no more.
Hunt Brothers Pizza always offers all toppings at no extra charge. That's 1,024 topping combinations at one price. At Hunt Brothers Pizza, we love racing and we love pizza. Visit huntbrotherspizza.com to find your next pizza. Not quite as many grassroots races happening this weekend, although there are some special ones. Thanksgiving weekend, some big races, and of course after that, it'll be trade show season. I'm Lenny Baticki, and we'll see you next time at the track. So long.
PRN at the Track was presented by Pro Fabrication Headers and Exhaust, quality that wins. O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people. And by Hunt Brothers Pizza. Find your next pizza at huntbrotherspizza.com. This is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Carolina Country, WCSL, 92.9 FM, W225DL, 1590 AM, Cherryville, Gastonia, Kings Mountain. Online at www.ktcbroadcasting.com.
You can book your tee times online at the Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden. Just go online at glenoaksgolf.com. Pick out your tee time and book it. Check out their pro shop, snack bar, driving range, and banquet hall. And memberships are available. For more information, call 828-428-2451. Or again, go online at glenoaksgolf.com and like them on Facebook too.
Get more bang for your buck this fall with Buck Days at James River Equipment. Buy any new John Deere 1 through 4 Series tractor with a loader and you'll receive your choice of a rear blade or a set of pallet forks for only $1. So whether you're leveling your driveway or doing some heavy lifting, James River can help you save big bucks. Visit jamesriverequipment.com/buckdays to learn more. Offer ends 11/30/23. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details. James River delivers.
There she is.
Cody? So you didn't get what I told you to?
Dad, I did my research.
Let's see what he can do. Not bad.
What do you think?
Not bad. Not bad.
So?
He likes it.
I knew he would.
Your Coyote dealer is West End Sales, Highway 18 North, Highway 27 West intersection in Vale. Don't miss the Dodge President's Day sales event at Marburger Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Shelby. Just announced, lease the new 2024 Dodge Hornet RT for $278 per month for 24 months. $39.99 total due at lease signing. No security deposit required. Lease payment term is factored in a $6,500 EV incentive provided by lender. See dealer for details. Don't miss it. The Dodge President's Day sales event at Marburger Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, 1310 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Tax time is here, and since 1961, AgControl Business Services in Gastonia has been serving this area with the best in income tax service. And you're dealing with IRS enrolled agents with over 120 years of combined experience. And get same-day service, and most returns are processed right while you wait. Get electronic filing too. And while there, shop Nest and Canvas Custom Jewelry. AgControl Business Services, 428 West Main Avenue in Gastonia. Call 704-864-8767. Open Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, 9 to 6. Call for Saturday hours. Closed on Sunday and Wednesday. Don't miss the Dodge President's Day sales event at Abernathy Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lincoln. Just announced. Lease a new 2024 Dodge Hornet RT for $278 per month for 24 months. $39.99 total due at lease signing. No security deposit required. Lease payment term is factored in. A $6,500 EV incentive provided by lender. See dealer for details. Don't miss it. The Dodge President's Day sales event at Abernathy Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, 1442 East Main Street in Lincoln.
Anderson, I wish they were here right now.
Chip, Tom, Terry, and JP. And yes, I have my allergies picked up. So
You
my
sound
voice,
like Robert Kennedy Jr.
Yeah, my voice is going, which is normal when my allergies show up. So if y'all don't want to hear my voice, just turn me off. That's the best thing I can tell you to do. So I won't be talking much, but we always want to thank.
Talking. Either that or you just sound very emotional. You sound like you won an Emmy.
Yes, but unfortunately I have to introduce the show and the guys, and I also have to say that we got our McDonald's Saturday morning breakfast from McDonald's here in Cherville.
You said you couldn't talk. That's the longest introduction you gave in the history of Saturday morning sports talk. You did but you didn't introduce anybody's names or breakfast or anything. You just talked.
Yeah, I did. I said giving Chip Tom Terry.
We couldn't understand it if you did so.
Oh, is that the problem?
Yeah.
Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. I'm Kevin Hastings, long enough. Chip Carter, Terry Reinhart, Tom Cinefani. That was JP. We'll see what kind of talking he does. And who did I skip? Tom Cinefani?
Yes.
And a McDonald's breakfast we got. I had an egg and cheese biscuit and a strawberry smoothie. Chip, what you guys got?
I'm wrapping up my sausage and egg biscuit.
I got a sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin with a hash brown.
Bacon, egg, and cheese McMuffin, hash brown, and coffee.
And JP?
A egg and cheese biscuit.
All right. Well, good morning, everybody.
He's very emotional about it.
He's having a...
Don't cry, JP. It's okay.
I know. Those
you can eat it now. Go ahead.
All right, buddy.
I'm going to, actually.
Great job, JP. Just want to bring up people up on some local sports. Shelby defeats Burns in basketball. They end up tied. Guess they're going to have to seed them, for the tournament. I don't know if they're going to use RPI or a coin toss for the tournament.
Supposed to use that one.
Yeah, I think they might, if they use RPI, then Burns will be hosting. And Shelby, that's big, though, because if you don't get number one, you have to play that extra basketball game, probably against a lower quality opponent, but you still have to play. So, and I didn't see it. Did y'all see who won the Kings Mountain Crest game last night?
I'll see if I
Okay,
can find it.
All right, Terry, you ready?
I'm ready.
Whoops, I guess you're not ready. I wasn't ready.
No, truck seat.
Come on! Let's go!
Hey,
Biggest win of my entire life. Thank you, Don and Charlie Henderson. I wish they were here right now. Scott, we did it finally! Scott Borchetta, thank you for giving us this beautiful truck. Chris Carrier, who makes this whole thing happen. But, man, I'm out of breath. I can't believe it. I just was making moves and just like...
Making moves. Use out front.
I don't know. I just, every move I made felt like it worked. And for some reason, it really did. These guys built an amazing truck. I can't believe we're here. Thank you, Spike Coolers. Finally get them in victory lane after the last 2 years. Means a lot, but this is... been so close the last couple years. This means so much. To win the biggest place. We're just doing all the TV stuff today, talking about how much this place means, and all of you fans here at Daytona, thank you so much. God, I love this place. I love racing. I love winning. I'm ready.
Tell everybody what happened.
What do you mean? What happened? Everybody behind him was wrecking.
No, you don't. No, wait a minute. Did you turn the channel?
Do what?
Did you turn the channel?
Did I turn the channel?
Yeah.
Okay, what happened?
He was disqualified.
Oh,
yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
Oh, how about that?
2 races in a row, the guy who crossed the checkered line at Daytona has not been the winner this week. Parker Gilliman last night, the 75 truck was disqualified post-race for the low rear being too low. Corey Haim has been declared the winner of the race. Second race in a row in Daytona where they took away the race winner. Whoever crossed the line at the checkered flag did not actually win.
How about that? I did not know
the
that.
race.
I turned it as soon as the race was over. Wow.
So Kligerman has got his car parked on the apron, and they're saying that this may have jogged some of that the way he's got it parked up on the banking there, Terry. They are appealing the ruling, and trying to figure out what exactly happened. And here's the news about Kligerman. He is basically the sideline reporter today for Fox.
That's insult
at
to
the Daytona 500.
That's like Jimmy Kimmel hosting the daytime Emmys and losing to
Yes.
John Oliver.
So they took his win away, and he has to stand there and basically talk about it, I guess, or somebody about it today. And yeah, I'm sure it'd be brought up.
He gets to interview the winner.
Yeah,
He gets to interview the winner.
So
that's awful.
There's like for the folks watching. If you're listening on the radio, 92.9 FM, 1590 AM, you can watch this show every Saturday. Go to YouTube, youtube.com. Go to KDC Broadcasting page and just click on the live show, Shock Joxx. You can watch the replays as well. If you can't catch it, if you're out on the road and you want to watch it later, we do show highlights, videos, and other things. If you hear us talking about what is that, or let's show the folks at home. That's what we're talking about. So this is a live YouTube show as well. So Eric Jones,
NASCAR ejected 2 crew chiefs before the Daytona 500.
Yeah, they did.
Chris Larson's the crew chief for Todd Gilliland, and Billy Plord, the crew chief for Cody Ware, the 34 and 51 cars.
So Landon Castle talking about Kligerman last night says the penalty for finishing a NASCAR race with no damage is that you have to pass post-race heights inspections. Basically. So he says driving into the fence on the cool-down lap, it's your only choice. I had no damage in New Hampshire. They checked my heights. I was too low and disqualified. Later, I ran 4th at Phoenix. I made sure that didn't happen again. So basically, your drivers are supposed to run into the fence after the race, Tom, just to make sure they got some damage, so they can't do the inspection. And so
That's not dumb.
If you don't get in, well, it's not dumb. It's not. It's just that. Is it okay for them to have to be in a corner like that to where? Like,
how does your car being too low constitute?
It can be an aerodynamic advantage.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying, why is it illegal? I mean, what risk is there by allowing the car to be too low?
It's not a risk.
So what they're talking about on the it's not
everybody's got to be on the same level playing field.
Hold on. I'll try to explain.
Yeah.
So different manufacturers. Okay, you got that. So each one's got a different bumper and front and rear bumpers.
Mm-hmm.
So each one acts differently to different aerodynamics. So they try to make it as close as possible on that and speed. From what I get, I might be wrong from one of the educated listeners at home, Terry, but it's to, like Terry was saying, like say the Dodge might be higher than the Chevy, or the Chevy might be higher than the Dodge. So if you're riding here, you're supposed to be here, and you've been riding here, it's not that it's more dangerous or anything like that. It's that, hey, this is what we told you could work with, and you're not working with it, type thing.
And to this point,
you're cheating, kind of. Supposedly,
okay,
or they'll say a spring or a spring or something is loose or tight.
I don't
or
understand. In baseball, like the bats can only be so big and so heavy, right?
All right,
but not everybody uses the exact same bat.
All right, in baseball though, okay, each all right. So each league has different rules. So there's what kind of bat you can use, right?
Right.
So that's an insurance thing, not a hey, this hits it over here.
But
what I'm saying is that if you go out there and use that bat that you weren't supposed to use, it's not like you're going to kill the third baseman. It's that it was against their rules. That's why you're being penalized.
So yeah, but what I don't understand is, like, I understand the bat rules because there's a safety thing.
Right.
I understand like equipment issues in other sports, but to me this is kind of like golf. Like, everybody's got their own equipment and tailor-made stuff, and mine's made out of this and yours is made out of that, and I just figure out the best for me. But there's no risk. There's no risk to you by me having different equipment. So to me, it's like there's no risk to the other drivers if my engineering's better than yours, and I can have a car that sits lower.
Wrong.
But
Wrong.
I'm not done. If your car sits lower than mine, but still is more drivable than yours, I've just out-engineered you. Too bad. Go back to the drawing board. No, that's true.
No, you haven't, because if I give you a plan that says you got to be within these specs,
yeah, you got specs,
and all of a sudden you want to drop it down, and it's all of a sudden your car's better than mine on account of you.
Then I've out-engineered you.
It means at this point in time you're cheating, while us other 42 drivers are staying within the limit.
It's not my problem that my engineers are better than yours. I don't understand it.
That's
nobody
not dumb.
Nobody will answer me except for Kevin. Nobody answered me. This is not a safety issue, right?
It's not a safety issue.
It's 100% not a
safety issue.
It's a competition issue.
Yes.
If I
we are in the same boundary.
Oh well, Wimbayana's
Quit cheating.
Wimbayana's too tall he can only play 10 minutes a game because he's too much taller than the other players.
But they're always shooting on the 10-foot goal, Tom, and 19-foot lines or 23-foot lines.
We're gonna make the goal taller because he's too tall. He's just not.
Right.
That's not fair.
Generally, it's considered stock car racing. The cars are supposed to be stock.
So but he just said they're made by different companies.
They are, but they have the perimeter to be in this level.
If this company has out-engineered you and figured out how to keep a car lower but still drives better than yours, then
that's not what happened. They all know how to make it lower. It's that they did it and nobody else did.
Yeah,
you did it and you cheated,
and nobody else did.
Everybody else did not do it.
This is a good way to explain. This is deflating the footballs, Tom. If that makes you feel better.
You're Tom Brady.
Is that Brady deflated football so he could grip it better?
I guess my argument would be
it didn't change. It didn't change the game, or it didn't.
How about this?
Deflated.
How about this? My argument would be it shouldn't be a rule.
There you go.
That would be my argument.
Okay, then everybody would be
then nobody would have a bumper.
Yeah, everybody's would be lower.
Nobody
because you can't tell the rest of them they can't do it because everybody else would be doing it.
All right, so let's go over to the duels where Eric Jones was robbed. Terry, talk about this.
It would become a safety issue because they'd remove a restrictor plate.
Now, Terry, this is where we've always this is the big argument. When do you throw the caution and everything? Tom, they threw the caution about 100 feet from the finish line.
Oh God!
So here's Eric Jones winning the duel.
That's that teamwork we talked about. Thank you, Joey.
Well, we saw a perfectly executed block right there by Eric Jones. Yeah, he's got a great pusher behind him with a Ford of Chris Buescher, but he did a great job putting that car in the right position.
Eric Jones on the outside, Buescher the pusher, Cindric alone as Logano's in the middle now. Here they come
wrecking behind him, 10 cars.
All crashing behind Austin Cindric, who I believe has beaten
10 cars
Eric
had
Jones
nothing to do with
by
people
inches.
behind him, Terry. Kept racing to the front.
That's that
and they blew the yellow.
I always like it when they let them. If it happens halfway back down the backstretch, it's always
as
like
Logano's
it when they used to
in
let
the
them
middle
finish.
now. Here they come to the stripe and
Here they come to the stripe. We're at the stripe. Look what they're wrecking. I know y'all can't see it. Tell me back up. This video is
over on the far right. You see the car spinning.
I got to zoom it in for y'all, for the folks at home better.
There you go. There you go.
All right. So this is the shot. So this is turning. This is a try over for those. This isn't the backstretch. This is
Logano's in the middle now.
So
there it goes.
There it is in the corner. And then count the cars behind the Sunoco sign once we go by. They're free. Counting these two, they're free. No, that one's not. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cars got through.
Yeah.
We've got a nose-to-nose battle for the lead.
Stripe and
and NASCAR
crashing
throws a freaking caution.
Austin Cindric, who I believe has beaten Eric Jones by inches.
But he thought Austin Cindric had won anyway. But Jones, once we go to the photo finish, was clearly ahead at the time. Where did he go? So there's the photo finish at the line. But Cindric was ahead at the yellow, and he gets the win. Terry, what do you think about the call? And you let him finish racing at that point.
I don't like it on the count. It was at the very in the middle. Daytona's a big track. Mm-hmm. If it's on the back stretch and it's in the middle, these cars, by the time they get here, they got plenty of time to slow down before they get back around to that.
Right, it's 2 miles away.
That's what I'm saying. So this right here should have been your finish. They should have let them race back. If it's not, 3/4 of the way they used to say down the back stretch, then we're gonna race to the finish.
The problem is, and I don't like it. I agree with y'all. I do not like it. The problem is, this to Tom's point from our earlier discussion. This is a safety issue for all the cars behind this wreck.
I agree with that.
So
whoa, first of all, I'm gonna cut that one off. If you didn't like Days of Thunder, Chip, just say it. Because that was the whole premise of the movie. You just can't say stuff like this in the South. The whole movie was about Cole Trickle wrecking from the back and trying to fight through the gap and not die. And then now we're racing down the streets in wheelchairs.
Cole, you better be at top speed when the green flag drops.
But what I'm saying is, But Terry, turn 4 right at the checker line. Like we said, this ain't turn 3.
I know. I don't like it, but I understand why they're doing it.
Well, I'll tell you what, this Chip, the guys behind them, they sure as heck didn't hit the brakes and slow down and not hit the guys wrecking in front of them.
That's the problem. That's the problem.
Whether it was yellow or not, those guys still barreled into them.
That's the safety issue, unfortunately.
But that's what I'm saying is that it didn't matter whether they threw the yellow or not because those guys weren't avoiding that.
I wish there was a way that you could
not at 200 miles per hour
on the last lap. Separate the field. Like anybody that's behind the red.
Maybe it ought to be that they have to, even no matter if they are a rig, even if it's like there's two, just maybe a car length or 2 lengths before you finish. If you're wrecking and they throw the flag, then we're going to do it over. We're going extra.
So Terry, that was
no matter what.
One of the proposals was, you know how they got the start-finish zone, the start zone where you start your engine?
Mm-hmm.
They're saying once you get to that, make that the cutoff line. And that if the leaders are there, you got to let that finish. Wherever that is, because every track supposedly has that start. What do you think about something maybe to that proposal? Tom, thoughts on that maybe?
I think they should let them race back to the line like that. I really think that if there's no going back to the safety issue thing. I mean, if it's not a safety issue, which that clearly wasn't, right? Clearly it was all behind.
Well, not for the 9 cars in front, but the cars behind that are still, if they don't freeze the field at that point, they're going to try to barrel through those cars.
So
I
don't know.
Well, I think me and Terry were saying they're coming through those cars no matter what. It didn't matter.
Correct.
At 200 miles per hour, they're not.
Them cars behind it are not going to win that race anyway.
That's where I agree with you. That's where but is it fair to them if there can be some kind of agreement that they're not going to be they're not coming to the overall outcome of the top 5 or 10? Okay,
and they're not spread out. This is pack racing at 200 miles per hour. All of them wrecked.
Freeze them, and let the top 10 or however many got through.
Let's hear Eric Jones real quick, and then I'll try to get another show.
Yeah, I mean it's the rules, and that's their call. So it's part of it. But yeah, I've never been in that spot, so it's a bummer. Would love to start out with a win, and still a winner to me.
I mean, that's the 43 car. So Terry, we talked about this before.
Jimmy,
the way they treat Jimmy, and the way they've this is the 43 car that just won. They're taking a win away from him at Daytona.
Yeah.
And this week, Martin Truex had a lot of comments about the situation because we talked last week about the provisional, and here's the guy that gets a free pass into the Daytona 500 over 7-time winner Jimmy Johnson, and Truex got one, right? One-time championship, right?
He got one championship.
Yeah. And so you got 2 champions trying to race their way in who gave their whole lives and careers to the sport,
and we're going to give it to somebody outside.
A celebrity. We get a celebrity pass now. So watch him trying to qualify here.
So Bubba Wallace has damage. So does J.J. Yaley. So does Ty Gibbs.
Yep. Bam.
Is the end of the race for Elio Castroneves.
They usually don't ride that high on the bank in the Terry.
But he was
IndyCar.
proud that I got my provisional.
He was. So that's the big stuff this week. So let's hear some comments. How about Martin Truex Jr.?
Make it 41. I mean, it's a bit of a slap. It's kind of weird to me. Just add another car. Make it 41. I mean, it's a bit of a slap in the face. No question. I put 20-some years in this sport. If I was Jimmy Johnson, would I be pissed? Yep. 7-time champion. We don't care. You got to make the race. But, a new guy don't have to. So it's a little weird to me. But I don't make the rules. I just come play.
Ain't nothing wrong with what he just said.
There's nothing wrong with what he just said.
At some point, Jimmy's going to snap and go off on all these people and say a lot of things. He's been too nice for too long on this stuff. It's getting.
I was not a fan of his racing, but everything Kevin says is dead on. You've got to give him the respect for. I mean, he's one of the top 3 drivers in your sport of all time.
Well,
and you treat him like an outcast.
Yeah, I never liked him, but my whole deal is he did it, and he did it the right way. He didn't rub people's feathers. The only one he ever rubbed was Martin Truex in a race down here.
And Truex is defending him.
Yeah,
Truex is defending him.
But my whole deal is give the guy his due. Castroneves, I'm sorry. You do not get you wrecked, buddy. You're out.
He has a resume that matches your 2 biggest icons in the history of your sport.
Here's more from Truex.
Then we'll switch gears and worry about tomorrow, but I think I've got enough experience with this car and knowing, kind of how it plays out to do what it takes tomorrow night. But you just never know what could happen. How's it feel to put the number 56 back?
Is it harder to see considering what happened?
It's the whole day.
A lot of people are going to be
sorry, I'm skipping ahead for a second.
Things happen for me, and really the opportunity to get here and be able to do what I've accomplished is all because of him and his.
This is already in the field. Provisional, yet you yourself, a past series champion, still have to race your way in.
I mean, I have to say yes. I mean, I don't see any other. I really don't understand it. I don't see a reason why he should be in the race and Jimmy Johnson shouldn't be. So it's a little weird to me, but I don't.
So Chip,
go ahead.
I'm going to compare this to golf.
Yep, go, do it. Yep.
How do golfers get their exemptions to the majors, and how long and stuff like that actually happens? So, like, me and Terry have always thought, like, so if you're going to use this exceptional driver provisional, if I've won a Cup championship, Kyle Busch would in the future, Terry, if he shows up to a track and his car can qualify or whatever it is, you want 41, 42, why would you not want him there?
No, it's
what's the purpose in there or whatever? But yeah, I don't know the exact details on the golf. I was wondering what you thought of as a crossover, how you could do the same
thing when I was listening to him, Kevin. And it depends on the major, like the Masters. If you win, you're in for the rest of your life. You can go to the up until generally about 60, 65. They kind of asked them to generally step aside. Now they had started to mandate probably about 10, 15 years ago. They started to mandate that. At 65, the players needed to step aside and not play anymore. And actually, behind the scenes, I believe Mr. Nicholas and Mr. Palmer wrote a letter to Augusta National saying, "Okay, fine, if you're going to do that, we're not going to play." And when they were like, "Be careful what you wish for," basically. So Augusta kind of receded that, but that
I don't know about the age rule in that. I would put them you got to qualify a round maybe.
Well, but they don't make the cut if they don't make the cut.
I was going to say, can you shoot under 100 on Monday?
But like the U.S. Open, I think they're exempt for 10 years. Open Championship thing, same. PGA, you're exempt for almost. John, that's why John Daly still gets to go to the PGA because
yeah.
And I mean, I'm looking here at the win. Jimmy Johnson won the Daytona 500 twice.
Yeah.
Why is he having to qualify?
Two-time 500.
500, 7-time.
Well, everybody
champion.
should have to qualify at the race, but if they're going to give provisionals for that's what everybody's upset about. Is that why do they not go to past champions or Terry? We used to race 43 cars.
Mm-hmm.
Tom, I mean, you're old enough to remember that as well. It was always 43 cars. So, like, if you want the base to be 40, then say, have you got 3 provisionals for whatever it is? But like,
Remember,
you want more cars in the field, right?
Darrell Waltrip used them all the time.
But now listen, am I right?
Remember that in the early '90s, Darrell Waltrip.
These are your 3 bottom drivers anyway. I think Truex is 39, Castro Caneves is 40th, and Johnson's 41st. I think those are your 3 last cars in the field.
Hold on, I got one more from BJ McLeod. Then I'll look that up, Terry.
Truex wasn't too thrilled that Elio has that guaranteed spot. What are your thoughts on that rule?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, for us, it makes it easier for us to get in the race because if they don't qualify in on time, if I own that car, I'd say, hey, take the provisional because the pay is less than the cost of the car, right? So he really has no reason to race in. So from a standpoint of trying to make the race, my opinion, it would be like, okay, it kind of helped us, but I don't like it. I mean, bottom line, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I don't agree with that. I think this is the Cup Series. I think whoever you are, you should have to earn your way in. And realistically, if you're not fast enough to get in the race, why would you even want to race? Right?
I agree.
So
Correct.
I don't agree with it at all. But that's what we're allowed to say what we think and see what happens. So it's something that I feel like my biggest thing was Jimmy don't have it, Martin don't have it, they both should have it, right? So it is what it is. Like a couple of them have said, we don't make the rules, right? We just abide by them. And I'm a huge fan of NASCAR, love everything they do, but I think in this particular situation, definitely not a fan of that.
I agree.
The first provisionals should go to winners of the race. Next provisionals, if you're going to have such things as provisionals, the next ones should go to past champions.
If it's going to be like this, then if these drivers, any of them, want to go to the Indianapolis 500, then you should automatically get in. You'll be at the back of the pack, but you should automatically get in.
And what's the benefit of him running out there and running in the high 30s or 40s? What's the benefit of that? What is that proving to anybody? I mean, and if there's a race you're going to do it, don't do it at the Daytona 500. Do it.
Well, Terry says everybody in the race can win it, so he's got a chance.
They can.
But I'll say this. I'll watch this, y'all. Terry, will he make it to the? Will Castro Neves make it to the first? What's it called?
Stage.
Yeah. Will he in the first stage?
Mm-hmm.
You think he will?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you why. He's smarter than what we think.
Oh yeah, he's a great driver. I'm not saying that. And nobody said anything bad about Helio. It's NASCAR everybody's complaining about. Let's be clear on that. Yeah.
You got to think.
If Helio got in on speed, nobody'd say anything. Yeah.
Think in this race, them 3 drivers, which one's going to try to come to the front? Jimmy Johnson's probably going to stay in the back.
Yeah,
too.
he did it when he was in his heyday.
That's
He
what I'm saying.
He waited until the end of the
You're
race.
talking about early.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, first stage, second stage, they don't need to be up there.
No.
They need to be up there when they get to the last
exactly
stage
right.
to move to the front.
Yep.
So,
Well, what do you think about him talking about if you already know you have a provisional, there's no point in you practicing or going out there and taking, and especially if you're on a one-car team, you could wreck. You need to be.
Yeah.
But can your team afford to be? That's what he's saying. Is that like, can you go out there with your one-car team and wreck this joker?
Then you're done.
Right.
Especially
or should you just park it, take a provisional, and then let everybody else race in?
Especially at this racetrack where, from first to 40th is a 2-second difference, or maybe a 1-second difference at worst,
I think he's got to get out there for the simple reason he's got to be in the race to see how he can drive around everybody else.
Yeah.
So he's got to be in the race, you know.
Yeah, I don't. It's again. This whole who was the kid? Who was the guy that dated Courtney Cox that got the WCW championship right before WCW started? You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
That's what this is.
All right, so we're going to be back, finish up, and we're going to go over the Daytona 500 details. We broadcast here on WCSL in just a minute. We got to take a break. Are we past the break? We good? JP's got to find it for me. I'm not going. Okay, JP.
Well, I will say this. I have 2 drivers in this race now that I'm pulling for, and I love it.
Uh-oh.
It's the greatest of all time. Kyle Busch and
say,
Justin Allgaier.
Is Richard Petty coming out of retirement?
Jr.'s first car.
Yeah,
in
JR Motorsports is in the race. That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, this week Jimmy Johnson and Shaq partnered up and they had a free throw contest. I don't have the free throw. I had it, but it's too long. Jimmy was leading at one point in the free throw contest, and Shaq ended up winning. But
Jimmy's actually a pretty good athlete.
Yeah, he's a triathlete. Yeah,
I like the one where they was trying to get Shaq in the car.
Well, this is it.
There you go.
So Shaq won, so he got to design the car. So we're going to show the folks at home what the car looks like here. So here they go.
This is great.
Jimmy designed Shaq a suit.
Whoa. I knew getting you the suit was a bad idea.
I'm just buffing up your baby.
You get to design the car, not drive the car.
You like the design?
Yeah, but it looks like you might be driving.
No, I'm driving. If I can fit, I can drive.
Yeah, I'll take that. You'd try to figure something out here.
I've been doing yoga, brother. Where the door handles at?
Maybe head first? Yeah, give
He
that a try.
got 22-inch Crocs on.
Jimmy, I'm stuck. Jimmy, help!
I'm trying, man.
Look at his
I don't want
foot.
to drive, you drive.
You approve?
I do approve. You approve?
I do.
Let me see if you put some speakers in here.
Oh, they're on back order.
They're on back order. Let me see the wheels. You ain't gonna chrome out the wheels?
Semi-chrome. February 16th, this bad boy on track.
Put some door handle. Who designed this car? Jimmy, help!
Look at that foot.
That foot is the size of his thigh. I know. That foot is the size of Jimmy Johnson's thigh.
So anyway, they can't get the die cast made for them because Shaq's logo's on there and doesn't clear the copyright stuff yet. So they're working on getting that approved, asking for Shaq's approval. But yeah,
real quick, Tom asked about this earlier. Crest defeated Kings Mountain 72 to 63 for those listeners.
They're
out
second
there.
place in the conference. Ashbrook won that conference.
JP, did you find them yet? Oh my gosh! So anyway, JP's trying to find the commercials, but we're okay. We'll just we'll still talk Daytona 500 for a few minutes. How about let's flash back to Tom's favorite driver, 2013.
I didn't know Tiger Woods raced in Daytona 500.
He didn't. This is the single fastest Daytona 500 pole speed in the last 30 years. 2013 Daytona 500 pole winner.
Ricky Stenhouse looking on. Stenhouse
is Patrick's chief competition for Rookie of the Year honors this year.
And boyfriend.
But there's more to that story.
At that time.
They've been dating for the last several months. One item filled up the pages of all the local papers here on Valentine's Day.
Well, 46-42, that's quicker than what Tony Stewart ran on his first lap. And she should pick up about 5.5 to 6 tenths, which is going to put her in pretty good shape. And you can see right now on the tracker, that's where she's tracking.
She ran 45.86 yesterday. Based on what I've been seeing, there should be about a 10th improvement over yesterday. If that in fact,
Terry, should they take restrictor plates off for qualifying?
Mike, I know who else she's going to give some competition to this year on another award. I think that Sprint Cup Series most popular driver award with Dale Earnhardt Jr. pretty much has been a lock for the last few years.
Patrick started on the pole for the nationwide race here
There you
last
go,
year.
2000 truck. Being the fastest lap.
Yes, 45.81
in 30 years, Danica Patrick.
6.4 miles an hour for Danica.
That's it.
Well, at least Ricky will wreck somebody this week. All right, we ready for a break? All right, when we come back, we'll do the predictions and give you times and broadcasts and all that other stuff here in just a moment. KDCBroadcasting.com.
Let Lowe's Home Improvement in Lincoln be a part of your home improvement. House packages, flooring needs, roofing. Stop in at the Pro Desk and let their pros take care of you. Ask about the Lowe's MVP program, plus 12-month with no interest. Need to beautify your home? Check out their huge paint and primer supplies. It's all at Lowe's Home Improvement, 1603 East Main Street, Lincoln. Phone 704-748-9335.
Why should you use Homestead Plumbing? Well, because I want you to love your plumbing as much as I love mine. I love my water pressure, my endless hot water, my cool toilet, my large shower, my touchless kitchen faucet, my yard hydrants, my gray water collection, my reliable drains, my accessible well pump controls, my digital water meter, my Bluetooth water valve, and more. Yes, I love it, and you will too. Call Olmsted and go plumb crazy in love with your plumbing. Olmsted Plumbing, 828-245-7302. Online at olmstedplumbing.com.
Every weekend right here.
Start your engine!
Welcome to Kyle Petty's Back Then Again Country Countdown alongside the NASCAR legend. We're Charlie and Debbie.
Yeah, I think a lot of people thought they were going to lose their girls to Carl Edwards. Have you ever seen Carl Edwards? When he first came around, I didn't know he had a shirt because he never seemed to have one on.
He can't even pay to hook. It's Kyle Petty's Back Then Again Country Countdown with Charlie and Debbie.
Friday afternoons at 3 p.m. on Carolina Country, WCSL, online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
The NASCAR Cup Series.
The Great American Race is underway. Logano and Michael McDowell on the front row.
Heads to Daytona International Speedway.
There they go, the big one in 3. Look at basically the entire pack is collected.
Where one of the sport's greatest traditions continues.
Racing down the short straightaway in the Daytona 500. Blocking on and they're crashing.
It's the Daytona 500.
Sunday afternoon at 1:30 on Carolina Country WCSL. 92.9 FM, 1590 AM, online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
Hey, I'm Cody Martin, here Charlotte Hornets basketball on Carolina Country, WCSL 92.9 FM and 1590 AM, and online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
Never before has the price been better than right now on a new Chevy Silverado truck from Marburger Chevrolet in Shelby. Now you can start the new year off with a new Chevy Silverado for up to 20% off. That's right, 20% off. Looking for a pre-owned vehicle? See the selection at Marburger Chevrolet. Pre-owned vehicles starting at $79.90. For complete details, visit the website at marburgerchevy.net or drop on by. They're located at 200 West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. That's Marburger Chevrolet.
Go ahead.
All right, welcome back. Saturday morning sports talk with Kevin in the game.
Hey, she can do that too. You can let her do that, JP. Say, hey, let's see if she can do it. Go ahead, Brooke. Try it. Go ahead, try it. You're on there. You're on right now. Go ahead and try it.
Yeah, welcome. Okay, what do I say? Welcome back.
Say welcome back to Saturday Sports Talk.
Welcome back to Saturday Sports Talk.
There you go. I'll get you the exact words later. That's good for now.
Well done.
All right.
A script.
All right. So we're going to go over to, Bobby Allison news because that's breaking. But
just now
we talked about bumpers and all kinds of things like that. So it is relevant. So I did want to point that out.
And there's something broken away from a car there going through turn 4. It looked like the rear spoiler. Let's see who it came off from. It was right. There's a car in the wall. A big shot coming out of turn number 4. Milliken has crashed, and there's cars slithering and sliding down into turn number 4. But I really think that piece of a car came off one of the front runners, and that must have caused the mayhem further back in the field. There's what came off. Looks like a bumper came away. Number 23, Jeff Bodine has come in, and here are pictures from Joe Ruttman's car as he comes around through where the Holocaust took place in turn number 4. It seems pretty unusual for a bumper to fly off where these guys touch all the time.
Bobby Allison's bumper purposely fell off at the front of the Daytona 500, taking out half the field. You ain't cheating, you ain't trying, is it, Tom?
What year is that?
1982.
82, yeah, I could tell it was early 80s.
Just a few years before I was
I thought
born.
it was late 70s, early 80s. I knew it was back there.
They tell you aerodynamics don't mean that much, guys, but here's the cruise clipping. What are those things called, Terry? Do you know?
Oh, the little things off the sides.
The little side
I don't
things.
know what they call
Little tire side
hairs.
Tom, do y'all go over that in driving school?
Tell them
You
what
know,
those
you
are.
know, I used to like try to take a day. They're supposed to do that in the class. They're
Right.
supposed to do that in the class, but just no further comment. But I used to, but with a lot of the drivers, I mean, they have a hard time just keeping it between the yellow and the white. So I mean, it's like the more time you're spending going over, this is your radiator hose, and if this breaks, you better get it to a shop. The less time you have on the road. So.
They and this kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier, but you clipping those tires and just trying to get all the advantage you can. I had a cousin who used to work for Hendrick in the garage, and this was right after Junior Earnhardt Sr. passed away, and Junior had that great run at the restrictor plate tracks, and there was one after one of his wins. It was questionable the height of his car that he got measured, and I talking to my cousin about it. I was like, and kind of like what Tom's question. I was like, how big of a little bit different, but I was like, how big of a deal? I said it was like 1/8 of an inch. He said, Chip, you'd be amazed how much faster that makes the car. He said it's a completely different car, just given the aerodynamically when you're going that fast. So, yeah.
All right, so we do have notes on the times changing because the rain. Terry, they've been doing this race for how many years, and they still ain't figured out it's going to rain in Daytona.
Yeah.
Plan it for this early, get it started. But the race time is somewhere close to 1:30. Airtime here on KTC will be about 12:30. And so that's the plan is for race times at 1:30. But you never don't know the exact time the green flag will be. So that's the best estimate that we can get. I'm guessing, Tom, tonight you can probably do whatever you want to this afternoon and see the end of the race after dark sometime today. Right, Terry? Mm-hmm. What time do you think it might end tonight? Is it going to end tonight? Have you seen any details on the hourly weather in Daytona yet?
No, I have not.
Chip, look up the hourly weather in Daytona on your Magic computer.
Wasn't there 1 year in 2014? I think the last time Junior won that they started the race. It was supposed to be normal start time, and with the rain delay, they ended up having to start like 10 o'clock at night. He won at like 1 or 2 in the morning.
It's been about 10 hours. It seems like about for everyone recently. Here's your starting positions. Your Bud Light pole winner, Busch Light pole winner, Chase Briscoe, the number 19, and Austin Cindric is on the front row. Bubba Wallace, the 3, Eric Jones, 4, Byron, 5, Buescher, 6, Dillon, 7, Hamlin, 8, Chastain, 9, Logano, 10, 11th, Tyler Reddick, and 12th, Corey LaJoie. Allmendinger at 13, Gilliland 14, Dillon 15, Blaney 16, Chase Elliott 17, John Hunter Nemechek 18, Allgaier 19, Bell 20th, Kyle Busch at 21, Kyle Larson at 22, Ty Gibbs, Herbst, McDowell, Gisbergen, Freese, Ware, Berry, Cluster, Stenhouse, Gregson, all the way down to, like Terry said, the 3 qualifiers at the end. Truex, Johnson, and Castroneves in the back right behind. Alex Bowman will be at the back. Looks like Suarez, Justin Haley. Terry, is that the one? Which one are you pulling for? Allgaier? What number is he?
He's 19, number 40.
Number 40.
Why are they starting this race early tomorrow?
Today, you mean?
Or they moved it up to today?
Oh, yeah, tomorrow. What am I talking about? Today's Saturday.
I was getting ready to say, when they move it to Saturday?
Yeah,
So, all right,
it's supposed to rain.
So why did they move it up? I would make it prime time because So
you know how long it
Because
lasts?
then you got to daggum clean the track. That's a big track.
Well, 12 p.m. 4% chance, 1 p.m. 11%, 2 p.m. 48%, 3 p.m. 71%. They're going to be waiting until the end of the night anyway to finish this thing.
Yeah, you better get some laps in right now. I'm serious.
Boot
Like,
it up.
They need to start it at 11.
Yeah.
But see, half the people's not out of church, so half the people wouldn't see it.
Yeah,
They'll
that's
see
it. I mean, start at 6. Start at 6. I mean, it goes down from 50% at 5 to 9% at 6.
All right, folks. Well, there's your Daytona 500. When we come back, we got to talk Super Bowl. NBA All-Star Weekend is this weekend. But let's Terry, you got to predict. We got predictions anyway. I got going to pick a winner. I gave you the guys on the front.
Let me see the start.
Tom, you picking Bubba?
I am not picking Bubba. I am picking a real winner, Ross Chastain. I think Ross is 3-1. I think Bubba is he's still like 2.5 to 1.
I wouldn't.
My boy.
Will you bet on that?
Gosh, Cole. What's the guy's name? Cole Custer. Cole Custer is 7 to 1. So I might just throw $10 on Cole Custer. I mean, that'd be a nice little pay.
So who's your pick?
Ross Chastain.
Okay. I'm going with the man that's pissed off of the number 43 car, Eric Jones. Chip.
Did you look up his odds?
It doesn't matter to me.
Does that matter?
He's starting fourth and won one of the duels. That's all I know.
You're darn right it matters, Terry.
Anybody that's racing in this race can win this race.
Yeah, but there's different odds nonetheless. Even
Them
the odds
odds don't mean a darn
the
thing
odds
to me
say
in this
you
race.
could win, but it's less likely.
Well, then I'm picking Jimmy Johnson.
Bubba Wallace is my sleeper pick, but I'm Chase Elliott's in the top 20. I'm going with
Bubba's
Chase.
finished twice.
Yeah.
Watch
Bubba's
out for Van Gisbergen, Terry. He's going to mess around and do this. He's one of these. He's good.
He's finished second twice.
Yeah.
All right, folks, we'll be back in a minute. If Brooke and JP are getting ready in there, we'll see. Let's put the camera on them. Put the pressure on them.
No,
Are they ready?
She's ready.
All right. We'll be back in 1 minute or a couple moments on KDCBroadcasting.com.
Here come the Blue Devils.
Spins on Shevlin, took the contact. Counted! How about a three? Big time! Steps through. Oh! A reverse pull-up! And he throws it down. Fades away and says goodnight.
We have you covered all season long for the excitement of Blue Devil basketball.
A dominant win at home.
Duke basketball on Carolina Country WCSL and the Boss WOHS. For over 60 years, Honda Motorcycles of Shelby has been serving this area, and they continue to do so today. Right now, you'll find a good inventory of dirt bikes, plus 150 and up to 450 models of on- and off-road bikes. See the new 2024 Honda Rebel, along with 4x4 ATVs and side-by-sides, including the Pioneer and the Talon, plus Gold Wings and Trikes. And don't forget about their parts and service department. That's Honda Motorcycles of Shelby, 4402 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at HondaMotorcyclesofShelby.com. There's nothing like cash in your pocket, especially if you can turn your scrap into cash with the help of Gaston Used Auto Parts and Recycling in Gastonia. For over 25 years, this locally family-owned and operated business has been giving some of the best prices for scrap. They take tungsten scrap carbide, as well as stainless steel, aluminum, copper, and brass. Need help? Gaston Used Auto Parts and Recycling will supply you with a roll-off container to help make your recycling easy. Turn your scrap into cash with the help of Gaston Used Auto Parts and Recycling. 305 Dogwood Street in Gastonia. Call 704-827-9468. Online at GastonUsedAutoPartsAndRecycling.com.
Why choose Kubota for your new compact tractor? All the options in the market can make the choice difficult, but don't lock yourself in before you've seen what Kubota can offer. We've been selling reliable tractors in the U.S. for over 50 years. Your Kubota dealer can help you select the right tractor at a price you can afford and then support your purchase after the sale. Stop by your dealer today for a tractor you can count on for years to come.
Your Kubota dealer in this area is Parker Farm Service, 126 Bessie Drive, Kings Mountain.
Attention John Deere shoppers. James River Equipment's Blue Tag specials are going on now.
which means huge savings on compact and utility tractors, residential and commercial mowers, Gator utility vehicles, and more. Visit JamesRiverEquipment.com/Blue Tag for more.
Get up to $2,500 off MSRP on John Deere riding mowers, up to $3,000 off MSRP on John Deere commercial mowers, and up to $10,000 off MSRP on John Deere utility tractors. James River Equipment Company, Highway 180 North, Shelby.
There's no background music or sound effects in this commercial as to draw your attention. Maxwell B. Hamrick Insurance has a long tradition of meeting the insurance needs of its customers. Maxwell B. Hamrick continues offering you the best policy possible by insurers that are proven and trusted. Make sure to ask about the companies they work with when you talk with one of their certified agents. Maxwell B. Hamrick Insurance, 116 North Main Street, Boiling Springs, 1719 South Lafayette Street in Shelby, and MB Hamrick. INS.com.
Welcome back to Saturday Morning Sports Talk.
Well done.
Good job, Brooke. Good job, Brooke. Good job, Brooke. Intern Brooke in the house with us today. Good job, good job, good job. All right, Super Bowl. Sort
of. Golly.
Let's see. Did anybody have the Philadelphia Eagles win the championship? No. I had them in it. Oh, I had them beating Kansas City beating Philly. I did say before it that I thought they probably could. That Tom did predict them.
Tom called it.
Tom and JP did pick the Eagles.
Tom called it. He said he thought it'd be a blowout. Tom called everything.
Yeah, I said if the Eagles win, it'll be a blowout. If it's a close game, I thought Kansas City would win. But who would have thought that the domination up front? And you don't have to know a whole lot about football to know that if you can get pressure with 4 guys and drop 7, it's going to be a long night because now you don't have to blitz Patrick Mahomes, who's probably the best.
Never did.
Who's the best in football. I thought they sent 5 one time. I thought they did one time, but that's the analyst said they did not blitz one time.
They showed the stat. I'm sure y'all heard it early in the third quarter at one point or some point in the third quarter. They said that the Buccaneers had gotten pressure on Mahomes, I think 41% of their Super Bowl game, the Brady's last Super Bowl win, that the Bucs got pressure on him 41% of the time. And that was unheard of, and that's part of the reason they won. And Philadelphia Eagles had pressure up to that point in the game, had gotten pressure on him 48% of the time without a blitz.
And they said the price just went up for Myles Garrett because now the other big boys in the AFC want to get him.
The Super Bowl just reinforced your argument about getting a pass rusher.
But that's not like me being a genius. I mean, it's what I don't understand is here's the blueprint for beating the Chiefs. I'm like, that's the blueprint for beating anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, what these guys on TV act like, oh, it's been revealed. What's the secret to winning in the NFL? I mean, Kevin says every week you got to play defense. Yeah. And if you can get pressure on the quarterback with 4 guys instead of sending 5 or 6, it's a lot easier to play defense. What do you mean we've created the blueprint? Everybody's known for years you can't blitz Patrick Mahomes. He's too good against the blitz.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's like, oh, that's been the blueprint since Patrick Mahomes has been in the league.
But you've got to get pressure on him somehow.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you knew that before.
But
everybody knew that before.
It's a lot easier said than and Andy Reid knew it too, because after the Bucs Super Bowl, what did they do? They reinforced their offensive line. And this year, their offensive line, I mean, they had to move Joe Tooney out to the left tackle.
They just weren't as good up front.
Yep.
And now they're saying the Buffalo Bills want to trade for Garrett. Of course, all rumors, speculation.
Right.
I don't know if they really do or not. But I think that, if somebody does, I don't think they're going to trade him in the division. I don't think they're going to trade him to Baltimore or Pittsburgh, but they'll trade him maybe. I want to call them San Diego, Los Angeles Chargers, maybe somebody like that who's just on the edge.
Yep.
Okay, well, we'll give you a couple of first rounders for him, and then boom.
Would there be any reason?
ESPN research says the Eagles blitz Mahomes 0 of his 42 dropbacks. Mahomes is the 6th time in Super Bowl history that a quarterback has not been blitzed. All 6 times that team won the game.
Right. If you have to blitz, man.
Patrick Mahomes is now minus 31 point differential in Super Bowls.
Boy,
what did I text y'all towards the end of the game? Well, you don't have to worry about the Chiefs' record in one-score games.
Tom, when you guys beat Wisconsin next year, just know that they spent $8 million on Super Bowl ads instead of NIL money. So there you go. Wonder why didn't we win, guys? Well, we didn't spend the money.
What would they advertise?
I don't even know. I guess just the school. I don't remember seeing any ads for them.
Look that up now.
But they spent $8 million on Super Bowl ads. Hey, it did happen, guys. The team that went west won the Super Bowl. Tom, I told you, if you're going west, traveling, bet on the Eagles, and he bet on it, Terry. I told him the week before, Terry, and then he's acting like he didn't take the hint. The next week, he picked the Eagles and bet on them. And the week before, I told him about traveling. We pulled up the GPSs and everything.
What's the Super Bowl next year?
I bet on
Detroit. I don't know.
I bet on the Eagles because
I gave you the inside tip.
My brother taught me like how to manipulate the line, and then if you make your own line, the betting odds change because it was just basically a pick 'em. I said, well, if the Eagles are going to win this thing, they're going to win it by at least a touchdown. So I changed it to 6.5, and the odds went from like even to like 2.5 to 1. I should have I was tempted to go 9.5, and I think that paid 3 to 1, and I didn't. I feel bad about that, but I the whole time I'm thinking if the Eagles are going to win, it's going to be by a lot.
It's in San Francisco. It's at Levi Stadium. Everybody's going west.
So that winner's going to win next year. Hey, how about some Cowboys comparisons with the Eagles? Eagles, since 2016, have spent an average of $71 million in free agency every season. The Cowboys have spent $38 million. So there's your comparison. Almost twice as much money being spent in Philadelphia every offseason, Terry, on that. Hey, here's how old you Cowboys folks. It's been 10,606 days since the Cowboys' last Super Bowl win. Their last Super Bowl win came 10,605 days between their first Super Bowl.
Wow. They're due, Terry. They're due.
They're due.
Let me name like 17 other teams.
How about, what are we babbling about?
See, but
I'm just saying.
So now,
17 other teams have a longer Super Bowl.
They're not America's team.
Here is Brady compared to
they're not America's
Mahomes. First, remember Brady's been to 10 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
So comparing him to his first 5 Super Bowls, the numbers are pretty the same. But Brady's last 5 Super Bowls, 500 more yards total, 100 more yards a game, 3 more touchdowns. A lot better about across the board. So Mahomes got a lot of work to do to catch Tom Brady.
He started his career out okay.
He's on a good pace. He is on a good pace.
Bold prediction: Mahomes will never see the Super Bowl again.
Wow.
Bold prediction.
Not ready to make that call yet.
He's not going back.
You know, that's so funny. Tom says that, and someone made a comment the other day about that. Tom says, and they were all going back and forth, and they said that. But Terry, I tell you, in 1996, that not only is Troy, Emmett, Michael, and Deion not going back to an NFC Championship game, the Cowboys ain't for 30 years. You just told me I was crazy. So when Tom says that, at some point the dynasty's got to end.
He is not going back.
But every Cowboy fan in the world in 1997 would have told you that that's the craziest thing you've ever heard. And they only got Patrick Mahomes. We had Troy Aikman, Emmett, and Deion. And Darren Woodson.
Now,
Terry Collins.
The only asterisk I would put is Mahomes may pull the Peyton Manning. You know what I mean? He may pull one of those a little later in his career.
He's going to go somewhere else.
He may, and I wouldn't blame him if he went ring changing. But the Kansas City Chiefs are done. They will not be
Chip,
back.
I want you to read A.J. Brown's comments after winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I saw this. You want me to start?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, read it.
After a few days, this is A.J. Brown. After a few days, I've had time to reflect on being a champion. I tried to feel how everyone made it seem to be a champion, and unfortunately, it was short-lived. 2 days, to be exact, kind of like how you felt when Ohio State won the national championship. I've never been a champion at the highest level before, but I thought my hard work would be justified by winning it all. It wasn't. My thrill for this game comes when I dominate. It's the hunt that does it for me. It's when the defensive back drops his head and surrenders because he can't mess with me. The intense battles, the early mornings, late nights, sacrifices. I love putting smiles on people's faces, don't get me wrong, but it just wasn't what I thought it would be. It's the journey that I love the most. Back to work. Okay.
It's all about him.
Holy wide receiver, Batman.
That's where all the wide receivers are. It's all about me.
Didn't care one bit that he just won the Super Bowl.
All about me, baby.
How many catches did he have in that game? Did he?
He did well. He had a touchdown, and I mean he
had a lot of third down conversions.
He's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to take it away from him. He's good. They might not win the game without him, but at the same time, that is the.
Is that not exactly what Cam said last week? Remember we played that?
That's the Instagram culture. It's all about me. Like my post, like and share my post. Man, that's just all that is.
Ain't
That's
no worse than Kelsey, man.
Well, no, I mean same thing. I mean
Travis Kelsey's coming out now. I don't know whether I'm going to play now next year.
Sore loser. I mean they any coach will tell you your character's not revealed in how you win. Your character's really revealed in how you lose.
Exactly.
And if you watch the way Travis Kelsey lost, you can tell that it comes to the surface, doesn't it? It comes to the surface. Now, Mahomes was a class act, gave the interview, and sometimes you got to like, look, I'm going to tip my cap. Y'all.
They were the better team.
They were the better team, whatever.
Dead on.
Now, tomorrow I'm going back in the weight room. I'll see you next year.
Yep.
I mean, that's the attitude that you should have. But, God, just don't show God.
I mean, look at his pictures all over him.
Do we have to do this every week?
Look at that shirt. Yeah, Terry, look at that shirt.
He is your local franchise's MVP.
You know what?
Listen, if Brian Sipe wants to call on the show, we're taking the phone call.
I used to defend this guy because, like, despite a lot of other folk, I do try to defend the Charlotte franchise. But this guy, man, I can't.
All right, this is Cam talking with Travis Hunter.
Yep.
When I was the first pick, I went into a locker room of losers. How did you handle the pressure of being the top pick? Let's put it in perspective. You're the top pick because what? Lead play. No. You're looking at it from a personal situation. I'm talking about from the professional situation. You're the top pick because that was the worst team in the NFL the year before. For me, I wanted to be the number one pick. You could potentially be the first pick, but bro, you have no way of impacting the game like a quarterback does. You can lock down the number one receiver. You can make impact plays on offense all you want, but it's still not like a quarterback. My issue is when I was the first pick, I went into a locker room of losers. Guys didn't know how to win. Guys didn't know how to prepare. It was a culture shock for me. The games don't mean a lot to a lot of people in the league like you would expect. It's just money. Not everybody has capabilities to be impact players. They're just players.
Now, if you'll remember, shortly after Cam getting there, a certain, hopefully, future Hall of Fame wide receiver shipped off to Baltimore. Never asked for a trade. He asked for something about winning or whatever, and he makes the comments this week. I've watched and listened from afar Cam Newton talk about the Panthers. None of us are perfect. Yes, we were 2-14, for you blessed us with your presence. The way you have talked about the Panthers lately, I'm very disappointed. I wish you nothing but the very best. I'm done. That's Steve Smith's comment on Cam and his comments on the locker room.
All of y'all are losers, but I'm great. So,
I'm happy I won the MVP and not that remember, Cam Newton said he's more happy of winning the MVP. He would not give up his MVP trophy to win that Super Bowl. And he calls the whole team in the locker room full of losers. Steve Smith's in there. If you're a Hall of Fame voter,
who's been to a Super Bowl,
I was about to say who has already been to a Super Bowl. Yeah. If you're a Hall of Fame voter, Steve Smith has a better resume than Cam Newton does. And he calls them full of losers. Terry, didn't we count up how many years Cam Newton was a quarterback and he only won 3 winning seasons in his career? 3 winning seasons in Cam Newton's career.
Well, both Eli Manning and Warren Moon had 500 records. And Warren Moon's in the Hall of Fame. So, and they're saying Eli, but Eli's got 2 championships. Warren Moon never had a championship.
That's true, too.
But Warren Moon was a 500 quarterback, and he's in the Hall of Fame.
He's also had to start off in the AFL as well. Now, if you put his numbers on there, he's way up there near the top, too.
I'll say this. If throwing a pretty spiral gets you in the Hall of Fame, Warren Moon would be the top because he
3 winning seasons.
But with these quarterbacks, I think Cam Newton's little speech there is, he's saying the importance of the quarterback, but then when you look at their records, it's like, man, the guy wasn't as good as we all thought.
No, 8 years in Carolina
yeah.
of starting more than 10 games, he had 3 winning seasons.
But that's the same thing with, I think Warren Moon had a losing record, and Eli Manning is about 500. You know, it's like he does have the 2 championships, but it's like, man, you were 500 and you're in the Does that get you in the Hall of Fame?
All I remember is Cam being in front of the mic and Von Miller over here speaking on another mic saying, we is going to make that guy beat us. And he heard it, and he put him down. He got up and walked away from his mic because of Von Miller standing over at another one. Yeah, it hurt him.
Hurt his
Like
feelings.
Von Miller was like, that guy right there was not going to beat us.
Warren Moon had 8
straight
winning seasons. Cam Newton had 8 seasons total in Carolina. He had 3 winning seasons. Warren Moon's first 3 years started at age 28.
Yeah, he was in the Canadian League.
He had 3 losing seasons in Houston that went 7-5, 7-4, 9-7, 8-7, 11-5, 6-4, 10-4, 9-6, and then 500 3 straight seasons, all of which better than Cam. Cam had 1 great season in which everyone that knows. Watch this. See if Terry answers the question right. Terry, who's the MVP on that team?
The MVP on
the Panthers team.
Peppers. What
the real MVP? No, you're close.
The kicker.
No, that y'all were on the Jake Dale home team.
Oh,
Josh Norman.
Oh, the
shut down every number one receiver in the NFL that year, and then they got rid of him.
Yep, sure did.
And guess what happened the next year? Didn't win. Cam was still there. Was it a locker room? If 8 years Cam was there,
and Carolina,
which years was the locker room full of losers?
Because
five of the 8 years there were losers. So was he a locker? Was he part of the losers?
Yeah. What was their defense? Their defense was ranked way up there in the top 5.
That takes a while to look up because there's no good.
Well, Kinkley.
That's what I'm talking about.
Thomas Davis. I mean,
yeah, their
Shaq
defense
Thompson
was in the top 5 that year.
Well, you just look at
Denver's was better, but Carolina's was up there.
Was good. I mean, Norman, you're right. Josh Norman.
The 2010 Carolina Panthers.
Their front 4. I can't even remember anybody. Who was their front
4?
Went
2-14 under John Fox. And you know, this is, remember, Terry, I know why they lost, because John Fox didn't scout the draft and drafted Clausen, and made Armani Edwards a punt returner. He never saw Clausen play, didn't scout him, drafted Matt Moore after him, and Armani Edwards. They drafted 3 quarterbacks. Good job. So he's got Clausen, Matt Moore over there, and Armani Edwards on that team. So they had Jonathan Stewart, Steve Smith, D'Angelo Williams were on that team. Locker room full of losers, Terry. That year, let's see, rushing yards.
Warren Moon was a 9-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, Offensive Player of the Year.
The only reason why Cam Newton's even on TV is because he stirs the pot. He's clickbait. That's the only reason why
he is.
Defense, John Beeson, loser. Jordan Gross, he's the tackle, loser. Charles Godfrey, loser. Jeff Schwartz, all y'all losers. That's what Cam Newton, locker room full of losers. Steve Smith's down there, he's a loser. Yeah, all y'all losers. Somebody at least call him and talk to him. Ask him, at least face to face, if all of you, if it's the whole team.
Yeah.
Said the whole locker room. How many years did it take him for them to win?
And then he said, I will say this, I wasn't the biggest.
Wait, Tom, wait a minute. First 2 years losing seasons under Cam.
Yeah. I wasn't the biggest Steve Smith fan, but I will say this, that man, the game meant something to that man. I don't care what game it was. The game meant something to him. For Cam Newton to say games don't mean anything to these guys, it's just money.
If Steve Smith would have been on my team, he would have been my favorite player ever.
Yeah, if he's on my team.
He's mini Michael Irvin. He's one of the hardest people I've ever seen tackle as a wide receiver. Is the attitude of Michael Irvin and the body of Terrell Owens being able to tackle someone that small. He was. The fact he won so many. Dale Holm would close his eyes and just throw it up, and he would. Now, for some reason, the rest would let him karate kick a guy in the chest, flare chop a guy before he caught it. He got away with some pass interference like Michael Irvin did, but he was freaking amazing at it.
And part of one of the most iconic Carolina Panthers plays in history, when he had the catch and the run for the touchdown in the overtime against the Rams to get them to the NFC Championship.
Didn't he start? He started as a punt returner, didn't he?
He started out as a punt returner. Yeah, worked his way into the starting lineup.
I tell you what, if I was going to scrap, I'm taking him with me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Taking that guy.
Absolutely.
He might not win his fight, but he's going to start his and take care of who he's going to tie up somebody or two.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I ain't fighting that guy. I'm just going to tell you.
I'm good.
If he wants to fight me, I'm like, okay, Well, how big's the check got to be? We're good. We're not doing this.
All right, let's see if I got any other football news and notes. Anything else you guys have from the Super Bowl observations or anything else?
I think, and the more I think about Tom's prediction about the Chiefs, it's not as far-fetched. Andy Reid's not going to be there much longer, and he said it himself.
No.
Travis Kelce's not going to be there. His security, Mahomes' security blanket's not going to be there much longer. And
they don't have a real. I mean, they got the one fast guy. I can't remember his name.
Xavier Worthy,
but I don't think he's as good as Tyreek. I mean, I just don't.
One thing Belichick did that I think was very underrated that Brady really took advantage of in the second part of his career. He didn't draft the flashy top-ranked receivers. He got these short, little, agile, quick, fast twitch, quick guys like the Danny Amendolas, the Julian Edelmans, and then he also paired them. And then he paired them with very big but athletic tight ends, and that was their offense. And I mean, and he was able to dominate the short passing game and negate the pass rush.
Yeah,
because Brady was able to get rid of it quickly.
And don't think that Mahomes might be done because Hill's already said he wants out of Miami, so he might be back.
He ain't going back to Kansas City.
I don't know if they want to give him the money that he wants.
He ain't going back to Kansas. I'm just saying that it's. I remember when Cleveland got beat in the World Series in 2016, and I was like, "Oh, they'll be back." They haven't been back since. It's hard to get back, and they've been there 5 times. But I'm gonna tell you, as those guys get a little older, it's gonna get harder to get back.
Yeah, every one of us knows every year the NFL changes anyway. The team you had this year is not the team you're gonna have next year
because of free agency.
Well, top 2 teams in the NFC this year didn't even make the playoffs.
And coaches, I mean, you lose all of them.
Here's Coward.
Yeah.
Hit the button.
It's on.
I got it muted. Sorry.
Oh God, Hunter Yancey is
the Dallas
somewhere.
Cowboys are awful.
Yeah.
They are the only big, huge, massive brand in America that is awful. And they just hired a coach, and they dumped it on a Friday news dump. And Dak Prescott said this yesterday, and what do they say? The best way to correct a problem is to acknowledge you have a problem. So Stephen Jones, about a month ago, said drought. Remember, he put it in quotes, drought. Like we're having a drought. It's been 29 years. Yeah, it's a drought. Jerry Jones said over the weekend, hey, we could have been here. The Cowboys have 2 starters, 2 that start for Philadelphia. And Philly's players, many of the best ones, are like rookies. And second-year guys, they're getting better. So I was thinking about this. For the record, it also shows you how powerful the NFL is. They just got 127 million people to watch the game of record, and Dallas is in the toilet. But I told the staff this morning, if you just went to the NFC, forget the Ravens, forget Harbaugh and the Chargers, forget the Chiefs, forget Buffalo, forget those teams, Houston. Let's just go to the NFC. If you told me next year the top 10 teams in the NFC, I don't have Dallas in it. I think Philadelphia, easily the best roster. Detroit, second best roster. Aiden Hutchinson coming back. Rams aren't missing on draft picks if Stafford stays. Green Bay, and Washington with Jaden Daniels are a handful. The Niners will figure it out when Christian McCaffrey gets healthy. I don't think they're a top 3 or 4 team, but they'll get better. Minnesota and Seattle have too many good players. And I think Baker's better than Dak. I'll put them 9. And I do think Ben Johnson and Chicago's roster will make noise. I don't know if they're a playoff team. Dallas is not in the same class as Philadelphia.
Terry, what do you think about that?
Well, I like it.
Are they making the
every
playoffs?
time, I'm just going to put it to as plain as I can put it. Every time we come up with this, everybody goes to Dallas. What about the 17 other teams that are behind Dallas? That's never been to a Super Bowl, never seen one.
You totally.
etc.
I mean, you missed the point because what is he saying? No. What is he saying?
I know
you're
Dallas
the
is not
only big brand that
we
sucks.
are the only.
If
brand.
Jacksonville sucks, they're supposed to suck. The Cowboys aren't supposed to suck. That's
Stars
the point.
symbol is
That's
known
the point.
worldwide.
All you want to say is, I'm a midget, but look at all these other shorter midgets. When you are the brand. You are the brand. You are America's team.
We are
You
America's
play in
team.
Jerry's world. Yeah, so you shouldn't suck. That's the point. What Cowherd, I don't watch him anymore, but what Cowherd's trying to say is, you're a brand, and you still suck. Look at what Philly's done. Look at what all these other teams that aren't as big a brand as the Cowboys, and you still suck.
What are you trying to tell me here, Tom?
What I'm trying to tell you is you shouldn't
Is
suck.
Philadelphia
If you're going to run your mouth,
won?
if you're going to run your mouth,
Let's put
don't
it to
suck.
you straight.
That's what it is.
Let's put it straight.
If you're going to run your mouth, don't suck, Terry.
Philadelphia
That's what it
finally
is.
won their second.
If you're going to call yourself America's team, don't suck.
I do want to
their
ask.
second Super Bowl. We have 5.
I do want to ask you.
In the 90s, but Terry, you don't.
Can you
missed the
trace?
point.
Can you trace who watches our podcast? Because did we not bring up the air quotes like a week or two ago?
Yeah.
I mean, how often is this guy using our material?
I don't think Cow Turd watches our show. But
we forgot to do our prayer this morning.
Oh no, we did forget.
Well, I'm just saying, man.
Get Jameis after the next break. We'll get Jameis after the next break.
We're saying, like, if I'm a superstar athlete, do I want to go to L.A., Dallas, or Cleveland? Well, I've heard I hadn't heard anything good about Cleveland. Put me in the big market, man. Put me where we're in the sunshine, and you still suck. You got a Cincinnati. Who wants to go to Cincinnati? And they're still better than Dallas in the last 30 years.
They won a Super Bowl.
Jacksonville has been better than Dallas.
Cincinnati
in the last
ever
30
won a
years.
Super Bowl?
It doesn't matter, Terry.
No, they haven't.
We're talking the last
Sorry.
30 years. You haven't even made a championship
Cleveland
game.
ever won a Super Bowl?
But
no.
it doesn't, Terry.
Detroit ever won a Super
Okay.
Bowl? Has Jacksonville ever won a Super Bowl? You want me to just start naming teams?
He's naming all the teams that aren't brands like the
Washington?
Cowboys.
They
He's
just
naming
mentioned
all
Washington.
the
They're on
teams
that
that
list.
aren't brands.
Washington don't even have a name.
Washington didn't have a name. I mean, it's so stupid. It's just,
I mean, come
these
on.
Dallas
They've
fans are
rebranded
like,
3 times in the past 3
like-
years.
Their Super Bowl come
It's
later
like-
than Dallas.
It's like Chip, when I ran a 40-yard dash in high school, I think I ran like a 5.6, and the coach says, "You suck."
Terry,
and that's like me saying, "Well, that fat guy just ran a 6 flat."
Terry, this
I say something about that guy back
Terry,
there.
who
Dallas,
I mean, it's just so
Dallas'
dumb.
brand is still as bad as we have been for 29 years.
You said it, not us.
That's what I'm going to say. No, I mean, y'all
You
can
said it.
bounce back. Carolina, what have they won? Nothing. Okay.
Oh, Carolina's
Let's
the brand.
put that
They're on
in
the
there.
same footing
Well, I
as
mean, I'm
Dallas.
bring up
David, let's get
y'all's
Tepper
team.
on the phone real quick.
Cleveland, what have they won? Nothing. I mean, y'all want to talk about, but I'm just
So
saying,
what he's
though,
saying
for
is
29 years, Dallas has been so bad. We are the 14th best team in the NFL. No matter what happens. Because there's 17, 18 other teams that are worse than us.
Fine. Quit calling yourselves America's team.
Quit
calling yourselves a
as
brand.
bad as we are, we are still in the top 15 of the NFL.
Terry, who owns the Washington Commanders?
I have no idea. Who cares?
Exactly.
That's the point.
You're right. I could
Everybody
care
knows
less.
Everybody knows who owns the Dallas Cowboys.
Yep.
It's because it's about him. That's the point that
And
everyone's
y'all,
making.
and y'all follow him off a cliff.
That's a
the
really
thing,
good
man.
observation because when you know the owner, normally that's not a good sign. At
How
least
about
in the NFL.
How about Kendrick Lamar had more yards than the Kansas City Chiefs did in the Super Bowl?
Gosh.
That's so stupid.
So Kendrick Lamar traveled up and down his little field and in his performance, and he accumulated 145 total yards.
That's not awful. that's a really
Why does he hate Drake so much?
Tom, that is not for this show at all.
I'm just saying.
No, we're not just saying nothing. No,
Okay.
no,
I don't know
nope.
anything about it.
No,
I don't know anything about it. Okay.
Ignorance is bliss, Tom.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, how about back in the old days? It's better than this.
On the opposition. 2nd and 16. Into the end zone. Overthrowing everybody.
And then Lynn Swan has to hurdle an Oldsmobile and not die.
Stepping over the trunk of a car.
Against the
By Ron
Browns.
Bolton, and Lynn is all right. Oh,
Is that in Cleveland?
I don't know.
Did y'all just park Oldsmobiles in the end zone to kill Lynn Swan?
My dad.
Look at that high jump.
And he takes a pretty good spill right now.
My dad's not really a football fan, so he never took us to any games or anything. So I never went up there.
Is that muddy or dirty? I don't know.
I don't know if it's Pittsburgh or Cleveland.
No, it looks like artificial turf. I think it's Pittsburgh.
Okay. Yeah, that's Three Rivers.
Yeah.
I guess that's the advertiser, the sponsor of the game. They've got the local car dealerships got the car.
That's probably late 70s. I mean, that's probably late 70s.
Was that the
early
team
80s.
doctor just park out there, Terry?
I mean, the guys used to smoke in the locker room. Why not?
Is that
car
the
on
chain
field?
gangs
Yeah,
pickup truck?
That's Bradshaw's car right there. That's Bradshaw.
I don't know. Lynn Swan's jumping over. It ain't
Jack
Bradshaw.
Lambert car.
Did you see? Just speaking about Bradshaw, did y'all watch any of the pregame shenanigans? My wife, for some reason, she goes, "Well, I like this stuff, where they do all the stupid stuff before the game," and it was amazing. Like you just put Jimmy Johnson next to like Gronk and all those guys, and how huge they are. But let me finish. Jimmy Johnson was a defensive lineman, all conference and national champion defensive lineman.
Yeah,
and it's just like. It's amazing how much bigger those guys are today. Yeah. What would Gronk have played in 1965?
Andre the Giant,
nose guard,
wrestling.
I'm just telling you, man.
So I'm glad you brought that up. I was sitting there looking at him, and I'm sitting there looking at Jimmy Terry. I'm sitting there looking at Jimmy Johnson sitting next to Gronk, and I'm like, do you think he's thinking about quitting? You got a football genius sitting right here. I worked all his life, 70 years.
Yeah.
And you got to sit here and give your opinions next to Ron Gronkowski.
Who's an idiot?
I would quit. I can't. I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
Like, do y'all not see? There's Terry Bradshaw. He's the biggest idiot on this. Well, we can handle him.
Yeah.
And you got other experts on this panel. I don't care how good of a player he is. The only reason he's there is to say dumb stuff.
I know.
And to be an idiot. And Jimmy, and like I said, at some point you see Nick Saban on the Saturday shows.
McAfee, yeah.
At some point, like
what am I doing with my life?
Like I don't like Nick like that, but at all, like I like Jimmy Johnson. But like those guys are like pretty smart at football, and having them sit there and have to talk with morons at some point, they're going to be thinking, "Man, it's a good paycheck. How long do I want to sit here and do this?" I guess I don't know. If I'm Jimmy Johnson, I just can't see his agent saying, "Yeah, let him sit next to Gronk."
But I know why they do it, because the people like my wife. My wife, be all honest, she doesn't go out. She wouldn't sit down here and try to talk football. Yeah. I mean, she just doesn't do football. Yeah. But for whatever reason, she'll sit there, and when they're going to throw like the football from one hotel room to the other on the balconies and stuff, she just thinks that's great. When Chef Ramsay comes out there and starts cooking up poor boys, all that crap. And like Kevin says, she thinks that's cool. Oh, it's Chef Ramsay. I'm like, what are we doing here? But the people that don't watch football, that will watch that day, they love all that crap. Yeah. They'll sit there and eat up all that crap and watch all that stuff. But when the game comes on, it's like, well, why'd they stop the play? Honey, the guy moved before the snap. Oh, you can't do that? No. It's like, I mean, it just appeals to the lower, not IQ, but football IQ people.
Right. Yeah.
Like Ron Gronkowski does. But if you get, Saban on there talking about, different defenses and things like that, people just, the people that aren't fans will lose it.
Now we know why Bill Belichick rolled his eyes at every press conference, because it's the same thing. He's like, why am I here? Why am I answering these stupid questions? Can I just go coach my team?
It's true. It's true. And I found those guys interesting. Like, I don't know if you guys ever watched Joel Klatt, but when he breaks down defense, it's interesting to listen to it, to learn a little bit.
I love when if somebody in the media actually gives Belichick, when he was coaching, gave him a good question, like about the history of the game or whatever, he would dissect it. I loved what
he's also a cheater, but he's very smart.
But yeah. Here's Steve Smith. He did make comments before he said he was done with him. 53-man locker room, -1 equals 52 losers. Wow, breaking news to number 89 over here.
Yeah.
Remember, Steve Smith was traded because Cam Newton could not throw a slant route. That was Steve Smith's exact words, that he catches slant routes, he goes. And Cam can't throw either. He has to throw to someone wide open, and that's in Steve's. That was his comments when he got traded. But this is Newton saying, "I can't believe everybody's being so sensitive about what's the truth." Is what he doesn't.
What
reflect,
did you say? Harsh but true.
He doesn't reflect one bit in the comments. So I'm talking about the culture was prior to me coming in the locker room, and it was a loser's mentality. And then, the very next sentence, ESPN said Cam Newton's first 2 years went 6-10 and 7-9.
Read that first. Read the start of the last paragraph. Read the first sentence.
Is it me saying that? Oh, when I came, I made everything better. No, I never said that. I said,
right,
was if you get drafted number 1, you're going to a bad football team. That's the facts. No, that's not what you said, bro.
But you said that, but then you elaborated further on it and said you called them a bunch of losers. So yeah, you did say that.
Cam Newton, answer this question: if Tom Sinofani, sitting over there across from me, would have been drafted the number 1 pick in whatever draft you were drafted in, would the Carolina Panthers have the exact same number of Super Bowl championships?
Yep.
Thank you. If the garbage man that picks up your garbage can was drafted number 1 overall, would the Carolina Panthers still have the same number of Super Bowl championships? So polish up your MVP, show it off to the DoorDash driver, tell him how proud you are of yourself. But at no point, again, everyone in this city, nobody in this city or town, state cares about your MVP trophy. They wanted you to win the Super Bowl and dive on that fumble. They wanted you to dive on that fumble, Cam. That's what everyone wanted you to do.
And not walk out of an interview.
And then walk out your Super Bowl interview when you lose.
They wanted to work on your accuracy. I mean,
once in your career, never improved.
That's all I remember from him. And then he got MVP, and it wasn't him who had the MVP, as his defense was that good to give you an opportunity to have a chance at it.
Well, and to be fair, his offense, everything clicked that year. He and Ted Ginn actually, I mean, he threw quite a few bombs to Ginn. I remember they blew out. Who did they play in the NFC Championship? They blew them out. So, I mean, there were times the offense looked as good as I'd ever seen a Panthers offense look, and probably since then too. But yeah, the defense did their. I mean, they were an all-around team. That's what got them to the Super Bowl.
I mean, John the Stewart had 900 yards. Greg Olsen 1,000 yards receiving.
Mm-hmm.
I just like the defense. Whatever it was second in.
Yeah, I mean, they were good. You're right. Josh Norman had an outstanding year. They had probably the best linebacking core in football that year.
But the Carolina guys, I don't. A lot of those, it doesn't seem like they're too thrilled with his comments on those, like you just said. All right, so there's more from Cam. All right, looking. Let's JP, are we behind the break? I don't know where his thumbs are. Let's see if we get. Do we need a break? Or are we behind? Are we good? I don't see. You say we're good.
Thumbs up for good. Thumbs down if we need to take a break.
All right, we got to take a break in just a minute. Just hold on. We'll finish up here. A couple more little quick notes before we get out of here. Aaron Rodgers. Any predictions on which team he may go to from anyone?
Cleveland.
Don't say it.
I would just love.
He's not going to Cleveland. It's not cosmopolitan enough for him.
Pittsburgh is the betting odds, I think, right now.
Why?
Pittsburgh is the betting odds.
Why? That's dumb.
They already have an old, washed-up quarterback.
Not anymore.
San Francisco is being.
Did Russell Wilson go somewhere else?
He's a free agent.
Yeah, he's been released.
Oh, he's been released.
Well, yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah.
He's not being a
There's no possibility of him coming back.
No. Potentially.
He can.
No,
he can.
They said they're moving on from Russell Wilson.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
They're moving on from Russell Wilson. Then you got Fields. Well, Fields did put in the slot that played pretty good.
Zach said it a couple weeks ago. Go from one New York team to the other. Go to the Giants. I mean,
he's done.
They're not good enough. He wants to play with somebody they can win.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. So
he ain't going to Cleveland.
All right, rumors are Stafford is going to be moving out of L.A. Will Harbaugh bring Aaron Rodgers into there?
I've heard that.
Seattle.
You mean McVay?
Yeah. Harbaugh is wrong L.A.
So Stafford's too old, so let's bring in Aaron Rodgers.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, no, there's that's not not old. It's something else. They're not happy with other things.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe Stafford's wife is something
They're
don't
talking
like.
about the LA the Raiders.
Stafford is 37 or 30.
Raiders with Pete
Raiders.
Carroll
Yeah.
and Brady in the game.
I thought that was a very good prediction.
So those are some of the teams being mentioned. If you're someone said that they just asked for. I saw someone ask for Trevor Lawrence. Might have been the Steelers.
The rumors are Cleveland too was interested in Trevor Lawrence.
Good Lord, no. So there's your Aaron Rodgers possibilities. What about New England? Aaron Rodgers in New England?
No, not with Drake May. Vrabel's already pitched his support of Drake May.
Well,
do you? And I know obviously the age thing's an issue. Do you even, if you're San Francisco, do you even entertain not trying to re-sign Purdy and just sign Rodgers to a short-term deal and draft a future quarterback? Yeah.
No.
Okay.
All right, Tom. I got an offer for you. Ready?
Yep.
No, I got to think this one through.
Uh-oh.
No, I don't have an offer for you. Never mind.
Okay.
What are they?
Myles Garrett for who?
Well, so there's
Myles Garrett wants to go to Dallas.
No, Dallas wants.
He's
Myles
already
Garrett.
said that. No, Myles Garrett said he wanted to go to Dallas.
Well,
He named 7 teams, Terry.
First thing he said off his bat was,
Off
Jerry,
his bat.
Yeah.
You do know that
He said, Jerry Jones, you think about it.
You do know they're talking
Me
about
on
Terry,
one side, Micah's on the other.
Terry, before you go any further, I'm trying to cut you off. They're talking about trading Micah Parsons right now.
Yeah.
I know they are.
So they get both of them.
You know? But that's what
That
Garrett
sounds like
said.
a Jerry move. Trade Micah Parsons for Myles Garrett. That sounds like a Jerry move.
No, that's what he said. Myles Garrett was the first one. Said, Jerry, think about it. Me on one side, Micah on the other.
So Cleveland's position in this. You got the 2 pick. You need a quarterback. And you got Myles Garrett as draft whatever. And like I was saying last week, like if he's in this draft, he's number 1. Like it's not even an argument, is it? Like right now, like as a let's say you could put free agents in the draft, right? Or available players. Would he not be going number 1? Is anyone else? Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson?
Well, you got all them.
Who's going number 1 over Myles Garrett? The defensive player of the year, Terry Monster?
You gonna have Adams in there. There's a lot of guys that would be thrown in that pot.
Who's Adams?
From the wide receiver from the
Devontae Adams would be picked over Myles Garrett?
I'm not saying. I'm just saying some people would. Depends on what they want. You know what I'm saying? I'm with you on that. But it depends on what they want.
Devontae Adams over Myles Garrett, okay?
Here.
All right. So my point is, who's got the number 1 pick, Tom? Patriots?
No.
Who else has the 1 pick?
Oh, gosh.
Y'all never lost.
Tennessee?
Yes. Yeah.
Tennessee has the number 1 pick.
What they want? They need a quarterback, right?
Was they going to give up on Levis or Will Levis?
Yeah, they have. Yes, they're not going to.
Well, try him in Cleveland. What the hell? I mean, might as well. I mean, at this point, you got no
Tennessee, then Cleveland, then the Giants.
And they're talking about Tennessee taking Cam Ward.
I just seriously, man, if the Browns pick a quarterback at 1 or 2 without an extra pick, if they trade Garrett and get like a couple of number 1s, then I think you could take a chance. If you don't, and you only get 1 number 1 pick, you better pick somebody that's going to help you, not somebody you don't know.
Yeah.
You better get Hunter, or you better get the kid from who's the kid from Penn State, Abdul Carter.
Yeah.
You better get one of those kids to make a difference. Because if Myles Garrett isn't traded, he's not playing in 2025.
Right.
He's played his last game as the Cleveland
You think
Brown.
he's going to go early?
Who,
Penn
Parsons?
State?
I mean, everybody talks about it. I mean, I've seen him play. I mean, he's good, Terry. I mean, he's really good.
Here's the problem. I was trying to find.
Some people said he's going to be all the way to number 12 where Dallas gets it.
It could. I mean, the people on the inside who know more than us, they know more. So
Chip, look up. Try to find somebody with cap space.
Oh, okay.
Like the Carolina Panthers. So Garrett said he wants to go to a winning team. Look, you got to go to a winning team. You got to go. Why again? Why do we have to do whatever he wants? If you want to trade, okay, I'll trade you. I'll trade you wherever I want to send you. You know what I mean? Like
he doesn't have a no trade.
That's what I'm saying. He doesn't, does he?
No.
So you've got Deshaun Watson's contract there. This is what some of the talk is. It's tying them together in a trade with a team, and we talked about this
Houston
a few months ago. The Panthers was one of the other teams as well.
All right, you want top cap space?
Yeah, give me some cap space teams.
Patriots is the only team over 100 million. Raiders are next with about 90, a little over 90 million. Commanders with almost 90 million. Chargers with 73. Cardinals with 71.
So Raiders, Patriots. So you call the Raiders, and you say, all right, Myles Garrett. The Patriots at the 4. Let's go with the Patriots. Raiders are at 6. Call either one of them. You got Myles Garrett and Deshaun Watson. Yep. We want the 4 pick and 2 number 1s.
You ain't getting that much, Kevin.
That's what you call it, ask for. Because, and the reason people are asking about the cap space, what you can do is basically write off the Deshaun Watson cap space number with the trade and the injury and stuff the new team can. Yeah. And so then they would basically, they're spending cap money that they have to spend. It ain't going to be up. Panthers going to sign $100 million of free agents? I don't think so.
They don't have that much cap space. They're actually not in good cap space.
So, like, teams like that,
and you never know. He might be able to play for you. You might be able to use him. I mean, not Garrett.
So what did he? So Tom, what does he go to? What answer did he not get that made him want to be traded? Is what I'm asking.
I think
is it the quarterback situation?
He fears the team is going into a rebuild, and he's like, I'm too old for that. I think that's basically what he says. Is I'm not hanging around for a rebuild. I'm 29. I've got 3 or 4 more years. I've got to go to a winner if I'm going to get this thing done. So that's, if they weren't in Deshaun Watson hell, I think he'd stay because you wouldn't have all that money. Now they've tried to get out of it. Supposedly the last thing was he was doing a TikTok dance and not wearing his boot and re-injured his Achilles. So maybe that could. Then they're searching. How can we void the contract? But like Kevin says, the way to void the contract is push it off on somebody else. Now Kevin, I think is asking for a lot. I'd say I'm not going to BS you. I'm either take it or leave it. Myles Garrett and Deshaun Watson for your number one Raiders.
Yep.
Give me your pick, and you take this contract off our hands, and we get an extra pick. It sucks because Myles is gone, but that's going to free up so much money to where now you can go get some more pieces. Yep. You know what I mean? So and Myles Garrett knows that. Myles Garrett's like, look, you guys can't go buy somebody. You can't go out buying people with this contract on about, and I'm stuck here. You're going to come with a rookie quarterback. If I'm Myles, I'm like, I don't care if you're going to get Cam Ward. It's going to be 2 or 3 years before.
Currently, right now, the only team in worse salary who are over the salary cap worse than the Browns are the Saints right now.
I mean, we're this man has completely effed the franchise.
Yeah.
And it's really, but if you look at it, it's management's fault.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
The guy didn't play. The guy had all kinds of allegations around him. I don't want a guy with this many issues, dude. Yeah. I just don't want a guy with this many issues.
And you signed him guaranteed money. You gave him guaranteed money.
And there's every Cleveland fan to go up and say, "Oh, aren't you mad?" No, I'm not mad at Myles Garrett. If he was standing here right now, I'd say, I don't blame you one bit.
He sees the right.
He sees the right.
I think the bad thing is that the defense is, to me,
very good.
Very good, and one Travis Hunter pick and a couple of other picks away from being one of the best in the NFL.
And it's still ain't gonna be good enough.
And you got all these to do what? Like, we just saw Jalen Hurts win a Super Bowl, and he's not.
Yeah. Jalen Hurts won a Super Bowl.
He's been to 2, Kevin. He's not awful.
We're talking top paid quarterbacks in the NFL, and Jalen Hurts is one of them. And he's one of the only ones that is top paid that has won a Super Bowl now. These other guys that's up there, like Dak and everybody else, they haven't won anything.
I showed Lynn, my wife, a clip or a stat this past week. There have been 89 quarterbacks drafted.
Before y'all talk about quarterbacks anymore, before the Super Bowl, I said the second and fourth best defenses were playing.
But you got to have somebody serviceable.
And who had the best game?
Oh,
was it? Wait a minute. What did they win because Jalen Hurts played great and Patrick Mahomes played bad, or did they win because Philadelphia's defense played great? Again, if you have that Browns defense and you add Travis Hunter and whatever else, there's 15 quarterbacks like Jalen Hurts that can get to a Super Bowl, and that defense Cam Newton got the Super Bowl because why? The defense and the running game.
But you got to remember.
I will say
one other problem with Cleveland, though, Kevin. I'll let you go, Chip.
No.
Well, Tom,
don't forget the offensive line sucks too.
That is true. But I'll say this: here's quarterbacks that are available. If I got a top 10 defense, and I've got Matthew Stafford, or I know you don't want Aaron Rodgers, but those guys won Super Bowls. I'll go to war with that before I would a rookie and not Myles Garrett. Like, how hard is that? Say, hey, Myles, we're calling in, or even Russell Wilson. There's another you got 3 Super Bowl winners that are possibly available. And you can't say you're paid, be happy. We're signing Travis Hunter. This defense is about to be the best in the NFL. I just don't understand why that couldn't work, but that's fine.
Do they have the money?
Just don't do your best to go. If you're going to have that scenario, you're best to go after Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, I love Stafford.
They don't have the money to sign him.
There's no way
they don't have the cap space to sign him.
That's right. As long as Deshaun Watson is on the roster, you're screwed.
You can't sign him.
You are. And plus, even if they trade Myles Garrett, it's like some kind of ridiculous $16 million dead cap hit or something.
They are currently over the cap, $30 million right now.
They are in financial hell, dude. And their offensive line sucks, and they have no quarterback. That's what. But I don't know if you can do this. Like, this is where I don't know the rules. Mm-hmm. But
I would call it.
If it was me, I'd say, well, I'm taking another $16 million hit if I trade you. So. I don't know if you could you restructure then trade. I know that don't they do that in the NBA?
Yeah, they have talked about. They've talked about it.
Yeah, like if I can restructure you to not take the cap hit.
Yeah, they've talked about it.
And then like you say, Kevin, I'm gonna bundle Deshaun Watson.
Yep.
And I'm gonna ship you to the Panthers or the Raiders or somebody. Because the funny thing was Cleveland did that with Brock Osweiler. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Oh yeah.
Like they basically said, hey, take this contract off our hands. and they got some extra picks, and I think one of the extra picks they got was Nick Chubb, the second rounder. So what I'm saying is you got to get creative to get yourself out of this mess and then never do it again.
I don't know if you can trust that office to do that. All right, we'll be back in a minute. KDCBroadcasting.com. Sit up, Brooke.
Check out the deals this week at Oak Grove Auto Sales, Service, and Body Shop in Kings Mountain. Just arrived a sharp-looking 2006 Chrysler Sebring convertible, sale priced at only $39.95. Or how about a 2012 Honda Odyssey EX minivan, sale priced at $12,495. A 2013 Scion XD 4-door hatchback, $84.95. And a 2016 Honda Acura MDX with entertainment package, $15,495. Oak Grove Auto Sales, Service, and Body Shop, 522 Oak Grove Road, Kings Mountain. Online at oakgroveauto.com.
The Get Out and Ride sales event is underway at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Get up to $3,000 off select models of Yamaha side-by-sides. But that's not all. See the Suzuki King Quad with 0% financing for up to 36 months or $2,000 in customer cash back. And see the legendary Kawasaki Ninja bikes. And see the new Ninja Razor Pro lineup. All at Full Throttle Power Sports, 100 Indian Walk in Lowell. Online at ncfullthrottle.com.
Be ready for grass cutting season with a stop in at Boyd's Tire and Appliance and Boyd's Lawn and Garden in Clover. Only a short drive for big savings. Check out their line of Aaron's, John Deere, and Gravely mowers. Get 0% financing for 36 months on a new Gravely mower, but also special discounts on Gravely stand-on equipment. Plus Echo and Steel chainsaws, trimmers, and blowers. That's Boyd's Tire and Appliance and Boyd's Lawn and Garden, 124 South Congress Street in downtown Clover. Online at boydtire.net.
Join us for our live Sunday morning worship services on WHS. It's the Sunday morning worship service from Calvary Baptist Church in Shelby, and on WCSL, it's the Sunday morning worship service from First Baptist Church in Cherryville.
Okay, sports fans, for fun, drink, and some great food after or before the game, head to the all-new Cherry Pit Bar and Grill in Cherryville. From great appetizers to all kinds of sandwiches and plates, they've got it. Also, try the Pit Burger, along with salads and homemade sides. And check them out for lunch specials from 11 to 3, Monday, Thursday, and Friday. You're going to love it. Cheer on your favorite team at the all-new Cherry Pit Bar and Grill, 201 North Mountain Street in Cherryville. Online at cherry-pit.com. Like them on Facebook, too.
There's no background music or sound effects in this commercial as to draw your attention. Maxwell B. Hamrick Insurance has a long tradition of meeting the insurance needs of its customers. Maxwell B. Hamrick continues offering you the best policy possible by insurers that are proven and trusted. Make sure to ask about the companies they work with when you talk with one of their certified agents. Maxwell B. Hamrick Insurance, 116 North Main Street, Boiling Springs, 1719 South Lafayette Street in Shelby, and MB Hamrick. INS.com.
All right, welcome back to Saturday's Shock Jocks. Kevin Hastings, Tom Sinofani, Chip Carter, and the back of Terry Reinhardt.
We voted off.
Y'all want to hear some? How about some?
There's only so much Cowboys nonsense we can.
How about some Charlotte Hornets audio?
Anthony. Will do it for our first half of play. Oh, another ejection! Who got ejected now? Nick Smith Jr. got ejected. Wow. Oh, my goodness. Oh, another ejection!
I don't know if you know this, but the Hornets announcer does a lot of yelling and screaming and stuff.
Yeah,
so
I've listened.
People make fun of him and throw him on the internet all the time. But anyway, how about some Hornets news about this trade that didn't happen?
The Hornets, they're not giving up on this deal. Shams Charania of ESPN reported last night that the Hornets plan, or they are in the process of petitioning the NBA to kind of have a ruling on this trade, and they're going to try to reverse it once again. Because they're not satisfied with the Lakers' explanation of Mark Williams failing the physical.
So they get like an independent doctor, like an independent hospital system to look at this, and then how does one team's interpretation of a medical chart jibe with the league office, right? Like, I don't know how do you rectify something like that? What do you do? Right.
But my understanding, this will be almost like a mock trial that the NBA will put on, and both teams will present their cases.
So that's where we're at now with this Mark Williams trade and Dalton Connect. Oh, we make fun of bad basketball all the time, guys. You want to see how about some Atlanta Hawks offense?
LeVert into the corner. Here is Barlow from three. Niang had it blocked by Huff-Porty. LeVert with a couple of chances. Man, Barlow.
5 shots before it hit the rim.
That's LeVert.
5 shots before it hit the rim. The 6th one didn't. They got a foul in the 7th. Look at this again.
LeVert into the corner. Here
side of the backboard. Backboard. Rim.
Hey, they're getting after it on the glass.
Like, that's the worst mic and drill I've ever seen in my life. If anybody knows what that is.
It looked like JV girls basketball.
Oh.
But I that's why, like, when they traded LeVert, I hate they traded Niang. But when LeVert went, I'm like, it's not that I hated him. But he was like he was such a he'd have 25 one night and 2 the next. He was like one of those players. I'm like, hey, you can't really count on him. So I think that I know that's bad basketball, and that's really what the segment was about. And I'm segueing into who I think what my team's chances are. But I know Terry's not here. But if they're gonna, at least Cleveland is showing me they're serious about making a run at this thing. That they want to make. They're serious about a championship, and then like when you're a team who does, like you talk about Dallas, they're not. Jerry Jones isn't a serious owner, but when you make a move like that and you get a guy you think that can really push you over the top, you're serious about trying to win a championship. So I mean, as a fan, it makes you feel good.
Reinforces it.
I got this come from behind win from Oklahoma City in 5 minutes.
Holy smokes!
I saw that.
Down 10. Went on a 24-0 run in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And took a 14-point lead over the Miami Heat.
What amazes me is Miami didn't score a single point.
No. That's what I'm saying.
That's
24-0 run.
What's the diff? What's the diff?
Yeah,
Where did the diff
Tom, on the Cleveland broadcast. Where's the diff on that?
I saw that. It was, for some reason, like if you look up a team, then you get alerts for that team for a little while.
Yeah.
So I think I looked up Miami because I was just interested. Like I didn't know all the ins and outs of the Jimmy Butler thing. So I was just, reading a little bit about it. And then like now it pops up Miami. I was like, oh, Miami's beating Oklahoma City by like 20. I mean, they were up by more than that, Kevin. They were up big in that game. And it's like
last time Luke or Dirk was not on the roster, the Lakers beat the Mavericks. Wow. 1998.
Was Kobe on the Lakers then? Was that his rookie year?
I'm not sure. I think I clicked on. I think that I'm not sure.
Let me find out.
1998 Lakers, April 14th. Oh, here's the box score. I guess I could have just clicked on it for you there, Chip.
That's all right.
I was at Burns Middle School.
Eddie Jones and Shaq and Robert Horry took them on.
I was at Burns Middle School.
Wow. So there's your last time Luka and no Dirk. 1998. That was Jordan's third three-peat. Last time they didn't have one of those on the roster. Got a bunch of how about Kevin Durant moving into 9th place and joining the 30,000-point career score.
Getting ready to catch Dr. J.
Do they use Dr. J's ABA's points?
I'm not sure.
They've got to, I would figure.
Durant, if he didn't miss 2 seasons, would be up around Kobe and Michael right now. Yeah. And right behind Malone. He'll probably end up in there in the Malone era, depending on. But at some point, Tom, in today's catch and 3-point era, how long can a 7-foot 3-point sniper just stand in the corner and shoot threes? Yeah. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not like the old days where like the 7-footer's like, well, he can't bang anymore. He can't get up down the floor. Well, he's been a small forward for 25 years. Can he play the 4? Can he play the 5? Can he stand down there with Chandler Parsons and shoot threes? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it depending on where LeBron retires at.
Yeah.
I think Kevin can. I thought Kevin had the chance to get the scoring title before LeBron, to be honest, from the get go. But I still think he's got a shot of getting to Kareem based on if he can play quite a few more years.
It's incredible that LeBron got to 40. We could see Durant get to over 40.
I think I saw LeBron moving. I know LeBron. I'm gonna get it right now. LeBron moving into second or third all time in this. No, he's third assist behind Stockton, who's got 17,000, but he's only like 54 behind the next guy. The next guy's Chris Paul.
Yeah,
but he's playing. So how long will that go back and forth on that? Well, Paul just try to hang on to that as long as he can.
That was like back when Coach K and whoever they were trading back and forth, who had the all-time most, like Jim Calhoun or whoever.
Right. Here's Tom, your favorite NBA owner, Mark Cuban, telling the fans who are chanting to fire the GM, sit down. See if you can read. Come on, Mark. So they're chanting fire Nico, the GM there in Dallas. Mark Cuban sitting on the desk. Got the guys kicked out, told them to sit the F down, said that they broached the a fan code of conduct, and that now the fans are claiming that Cuban, by doing that, broke the fan code of conduct himself.
Yeah.
And he should be kicked out as well.
This is the I'm a billionaire, so I can do whatever I want.
So Cuban's not the official runner head on. He's not the majority owner anymore.
He has no decision-making power now.
Correct. There were thousands of fans booing the guy that was yelling, so it sounded like the fans were booing the players. They weren't. They were booing at the fan. That's what Cuban's statement was. It wouldn't have been a long statement. The guy comes back and says, "No, they weren't booing me," and he shows all these videos of everybody chanting with him along with it. So there's this big thing in Dallas right now. So then there's a big argument among the writers. One of the and here's today's News Times. One of the official writers, or Dallas Morning News guys, I can't remember which one of those, said that Nico had gotten death threats, and so another local Dallas reporter that doesn't have a paper, he's online reporter, blogger, whatever they want to call him, podcaster, decided to call the Dallas Police Department and confirm. Has they received any death threats? Dallas Police Department says, we have not received any death threats reported by anyone. That reporter says that. The other reporter calls that guy a clown wannabe journalist on national television on ESPN. And that's how this stuff works.
Yeah.
Depending on what your shirt says, your word is more important. That was like when I interviewed Dirk there at the All-Star game, and that dude stole my interview. Yeah. Just straight up stole it. And he said they called and reported. No, there is no death threats. Now, that doesn't mean there aren't any. That just means that Nico and Dallas Mavericks did not report any.
But he went
to the actual police department.
He went to the source.
To the police.
He went to
he asked the
a
police.
source.
He actually used a source.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's your I've been trying to think about this. It didn't really bother me. Not a Mavericks fan or anything like that. But you start thinking about it, like, how many franchises have ever traded their best player and face of the franchises who could lead your team for the next 10 years
in his prime
without them asking for it?
The Boston Red Sox.
That's the only time.
The Boston Red Sox. I mean,
like Tom Garrett's asking for it. Like, these guys are asking for it. Like, when is it? It's just so, as a fan, if you are like,
the conspiracy is they're going to tank and move the Las Vegas
for
the casino. I think you went over that, didn't you?
Correct.
But I've also read that. Yeah, I read the same thing.
So as a fan, like, can you even watch them? Can you come back? Can you try? I mean, how do you feel like that when they just, I don't know. And then the guy they traded, of course, is nicknamed Street Clothes, and he gets hurt in the first game.
Yeah.
But just a matter of, like, I'm just trying to think of any comparison where you were traded the face of the franchise for no reason whatsoever, basically, in the middle of the night.
Davis is already hurt.
He got hurt first game.
Yeah,
first
game.
He's out for about a month or two.
About a month, yeah. Abdominal strain or something like that. He said he was fine after the game.
So they say.
Yeah.
If he would shave his eyebrow, he'd quit getting hurt. Can we just do that? Just do it. Your Achilles heel. Yeah, it obviously ain't.
Or Achilles brow.
That's what I'm saying. It obviously ain't. But so there's your.
I'm just telling
Jason
you.
Kidd did not know that it was being traded. He didn't do a press conference after the first game, and this is him talking afterwards. It's 2 minutes, but he's just like, I'm trying to get some sleep. It's hard to sleep right now, understanding what's going on. Like, you know, they've had 2 coaches quit already. One was a Slovenian. He's going to L.A. If you're JC, Klay Thompson signed to play with Luka Doncic. Like, he didn't sign to play with Anthony Davis. He could have signed. He could have went to that. His dad played with the Lakers. Like,
but at this point in his career, does Klay Thompson carry that kind of weight that you're going to be mindful of that?
No, I'm saying is that I'm saying is that he's upset that he's now in a situation that he didn't want to. The fans are upset. Klay Thompson didn't want to be in this situation. Seems like the only person that's happy is Kyrie because he gets to dribble more.
Yeah.
When they got traded there, we sit there and said that's not a good matchup because they both dominate the ball. And then they got rid of the guy that basically got him there. So they chose Kyrie over Luka. And this is just, I don't know, Tom. I just let's be like, I guess trading Jim Brown in year 6 or something. Yeah. I don't know.
Without him, like you say, without him forcing his way out.
Trading A-Rod.
All right, here's your good stat. Longest streak of not losing 3 consecutive games.
That looks like a very Jordan streak right
Jordan
there.
626 is the all-time leader. Steph Curry is now second at 314. Has without losing 3 consecutive games. Kobe was second at 306. Shaq and Larry Bird. There's your top 5. All right, we take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk Major League Baseball a little bit more. Finish up the show. KDCBroadcasting.com.
With over 30 years of experience, they do it all at Zeus Auto Repair and Performance in Lincoln. They promise that you'll be completely satisfied with their work, from an oil change to brakes to a North Carolina state inspection. And now they have 3 licensed North Carolina state inspectors, so you don't have to wait. That's Zeus Auto Repair and Performance, 1122 South Aspen Street in Lincoln. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, 8 to 12 on Saturdays for inspections. Online at ZeusAutoRepair.com.
I'm Lon Helton, inviting you to join me as I count down the week's top 30 with my co-host Dirk Bentley, who has some rather exciting news.
Something good is happening in your life if you're hanging out with Lon. So I'm not kidding. That's so. Just hearing you say that makes me feel so good because I'm so happy to be back here with you.
That's Dirk Bentley this week on Country Countdown USA.
Wednesday at 1 p.m. on WCSL, 92.9 FM, 1590 AM, and KTCBroadcasting.com.
For 5 years, Final Plunge Plumbing has won the prestigious Community Choice Award for Gaston County. Final Plunge Plumbing is a full-service plumbing company offering water and sewer main repairs, water heater replacement, and repairs with names like Ream, State Select, Renai, and Navian. And they provide upfront pricing, so there's no surprise when you get your bill. First-time customers receive a 10% discount up to $500. Choose the best and take the plunge with Final Plunge Plumbing. Call 704-860-5889 or find them online at finalplunge.com. Why should you use Homestead Plumbing? Well, because I want you to love your plumbing as much as I love mine. I love my water pressure, my endless hot water, my cool toilet, my large shower, my touchless kitchen faucet, my yard hydrants, my gray water collection, my reliable drains, my accessible well pump controls, my digital water meter, my Bluetooth water valve, and more. Yes, I love it, and you will too. Call Olmsted and go plumb crazy in love with your plumbing. Olmsted Plumbing, 828-245-7302. Online at olmstedplumbing.com. Get on the winning team. That's Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC in Lincoln. Save thousands of dollars on the remaining 2024 models. Plus, great financing is available too. Take a look at the SUVs, trucks, Silverados, and Sierras. And check out the Car Bravo certified pre-owned vehicles. And ask about a lease on a new Chevy Blazer EV for under $400 a month. Now, that's a slam dunk at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC. 1445 East Main Street in Lincoln. Online at abernathychevrolet.com. Just because the latest snowstorm is over, that doesn't mean we're not going to have any more. Plus, even though the storm is over, there's always a safety threat, and that's black ice. Bean Brothers Landscaping in Lincoln wants you to be safe. And if you need your driveway, sidewalk, parking lot, steps, or dock treated, give them a call at 704-718-4988. One slippery step could lead down an expensive path. Stay safe. Sebring Brothers Landscaping at 969 Reachville Road in Lincoln, and in Denver at 2528 Highway 16 Business in Denver.
And I heard a great quote the other day. It was the difference between amateurs and professionals. And it was something to the effect of amateurs practice to get something right, and pros practice to never get it wrong. And that's the kind of repetition. Like, we can't do it wrong. I've taken so many balls off the tee. I could go out there right now. I haven't picked up a bat in years, and I guarantee you give me 10 swings off the tee and I'll throw 7 or 8 right into the back of the cage. So it's like riding a bike. It's so ingrained. We've done it so many times, but that's what it takes, to play at this level. The game is so fast. People always say, I can't believe, when they watch a game from right behind home plate, how fast the game is. And I was like, there for years, it was like playing slow pitch softball, because we did it in our sleep. We did it over and over and over. And I don't think that a lot of times kids realize the amount of repetition, amount of work that's gone into, playing 23 years in the big leagues or 13 years in the big leagues like Wes did.
That's Chipper Jones talking to Gastonia and Ashbrook graduate Wes Helms, former Brave as well, about hitting. Anthony Rendon's bobbleheads come out. Got him in a wheelchair, Tom. Since his signing,
money well spent.
He has 13 home runs. He's been on the injured list 13 times. He said he didn't like playing baseball when he got signed, and he'd never played baseball basically ever again for the Angels. How about the Pirates? Haven't signed a free agent to a multi-year contract since 2016.
That goes back to my earlier point about Cleveland making that trade. See, their management's not serious about winning.
They asked the GM this week, Tom, about if there was anything imminent in the works, and he says something is like that. He said something to the nature of, "There's nothing imminent in this organization." And that was the general manager. And they've made T-shirts out of it and all kinds of stuff. But it's been a rough week for the Pirates on that end. Baseball, I have anything else on that? Chipper. Here's your who owns what sports teams. 9 teams are owned by gambling companies now, and Pete Rose is not in the Hall of Fame, Tom. 9: the Braves, Reds, Tigers, Royals, Angels, Miami, Brewers, Cardinals, and Rays are all partly owned by gambling networks, the broadcast networks, the local TV networks, what that is. So 9 of the broadcast networks are owned by gamblers. Pete Rose, how you doing, boss? I know he's dead, but
rest
not
in
in the
peace.
Hall of Fame. But, when are they going to vote him in next year? Is that what they're waiting on now that he's gone?
Well, now that he's gone, and
It's a lifetime ban,
and they don't have to deal with him like getting up there and talking about how he was wronged over all these years and sticking it back up there. You know what? Now they can put him in and they don't have to worry about that.
And y'all made the point several months ago about the fine print of he's banned for quote unquote life. So now,
yeah, he's dead.
Yeah. All right. Chip, don't look.
Not looking.
This is a map of the most hated out-of-state team in each state, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Tom, who's the most hated out-of-state team in Ohio?
That'd be Pittsburgh.
Wrong.
Really?
Michigan Wolverines.
Oh, I thought you meant pro football.
Anything. Any sport.
Okay, yeah.
Anything.
If you said anything, it'd be Michigan. Yes.
Wow, that's
Somehow Tennessee is the most hated out-of-state team in Tennessee. I think they messed that one up.
Yeah.
South Carolina's Alabama. What do you think Georgia's most hated team is?
Out of state? Florida.
The New Orleans Saints.
Mm.
Who's in Texas? Who's their most hated team?
Out of state? The Yankees.
In Texas?
No. The Redskins or the Commanders.
Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh.
Now, Virginia's is the Dallas Cowboys. Pennsylvania is the Dallas Cowboys. So is New Jersey. So they took the whole NFC East is Dallas. Maryland hates the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, this is going to be the one that's going to be hard.
Yeah.
Which team does the state of North Carolina
I'm racking my brain right now for this.
hate the most?
All right, is it
I'm going to tell you it don't make any sense.
Is it pro or college?
I'll give you college hint. You still ain't going to get it.
It's college?
Yeah. Most hated out-of-state team.
Clemson.
Nope.
George Mason?
No.
Tennessee.
How high? Lehigh. Nope. The most hated team in the state of North Carolina is the Virginia Cavaliers.
Oh, that's how old is that rivalry?
I don't
Good
know.
Gracious.
But yeah, there's your map.
Does Virginia still have an athletics department?
So I said they got Tennessee. That's what I said. Like, who hates Virginia for anything?
The Tar
Like,
Heels
what-
shouldn't really be saying much.
Maybe
right now.
Tom can clear that up historical.
But I mean,
don't
you've got
know.
Carolina or Duke. Neither one. Those teams don't have bad years at the same time. So I
Not
mean,
like, who do you hate? Like, I thought it'd be like the Falcons or something like that, or the Saints, or I don't know, maybe a hockey one with the other guy. I don't know. All right, that's about the end of my stuff, silly stuff for today. Tom, you got any other news and notes and stuff going?
No,
Let's go to those conferences. You said, do you have the list, or where can I find it?
I do.
Go down those real
you
quick.
could probably find it quicker than me, but I was basically disappointed because they have moved.
Where would I find it on here?
They have moved. Okay, here's the new 2A, 3A, 4A split. Highland Tech, Cherryville, Bessemer City, Lincolnton, West Lincoln, Shelby, East Gaston, Burns, Stewart, Kramer. It's the Rutherford County teams have now gone in with, like, I think some of the Caldwell County teams and some of the others up that way. I just do not understand why you're putting, I mean, is Q Tucker, does she ever, like, pay attention to anything in football?
Does
Like
does she look at a map?
I mean, it's just, dude, you're and what it hurts too, Chip, is it hurts your RPI to play Highland Tech.
Yeah.
And to play, Bessemer's at least halfway decent every now and then, but to play Highland Tech every year and to play Cherryville in football every year, it just hurts your RPI. They're trying to get more home games in the playoffs. Now you play somebody better and you get beat. But even if you
Give them the chance.
Even if you beat Highland Tech, it's not as good as beating like Philip Russ's East Rutherford Cavaliers made a run. I mean, now you might. And I'm not saying you're going to beat them, but even if you play them and lose, it's probably better than a.
I
than
don't
a winning
understand
game.
why. I don't understand why they sent the 2As up instead of down to help the 1As.
Right.
The 1As have less teams; they need help. Why is Cherryville playing Burns and Highland Tech? We went through this for the last 4 freaking years.
How does this fix anything?
How does it, Tom? What that means and what that says is that they, like you said, without getting mad and upset and fussing, is that they do not give one rat's you know what about anything on the western side of the state.
That's exactly right. That's been that way for decades.
Every bracket has the east on the left and the west on the right. So when they fill it out down in Raleigh, they put all the teams they know in the bracket on the left side. And they don't even think once they never think once that maybe the west should be on the left side of the bracket and the east should be on the right side of the bracket.
Which side is west? Which side
The state
is east?
The state is shaped that way.
Yeah.
Now they're mixing. I thought they would. My question was, are they going to mix, Tom, 1A, 2A, and 3, or is it going to be 1A, 2A, or are they just going to mix you're only touching each other, like 3s and 4s only play or 4s and 5s play. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not mixing it. And this whole thing about realignment that we've done for years, and we've looked at this, is that Highland Tech and Cherryville, not Cherryville in particular, but Highland Tech in particular, does not have any business being on a football field with Shelby and Burns. And for them to put them out, even West Lincoln at this point, for them to even put them out there is just the most outrageous and ridiculous thing. And I can't believe that we're even doing this again. I know geography-wise they're worried about travel, I guess, is the best thing you can do. And they put them with the smallest schools that they could.
Yeah, you're not going to travel far to go to your local hospital.
But
It's just so stupid. It's just stupid,
like
man.
Kramer.
It's just-
And you're East Gaston in the 4A, they're not even Burns and Shelby are so much a higher class of football than Highland Tech. It's not even ridiculous. And then you've got East Gaston and Kramer, a 4A, sitting there playing these 2As as well in the same County. Like, did anybody send any letters to the state? How does any letter get sent to the state, Tom, and they still say Highland Tech still got to be in the same conference with Shelby and Burns? Where does that come up at all?
It's just beyond stupid. Where'd they put Thomas Jefferson? I don't see where they
I saw them in one of the lower ones. That's why I was they were over here in that 1A, 2A that they all used to be. We've got
they're in with Bonnie
Cone, Carolina International, Jackson Day, Morganton School, Mountain Island Charter, Queens Grant, and Sugar Creek.
How much more sense does it make to put Highland and Bessemer, who are Gaston County schools, in that conference?
Highland, Bessemer, Cherville, right there with Mountain Island Charter. There's 4 Gaston County schools right there in the same conference, about the same size.
So why not put those Gaston County schools in there with those other Gaston?
Well, could Highland not play with this one? Lake Norman Charter, Lincoln Charter, Christ the King, Community School of Davidson, Pine Lake Prep. Like, again, Tom, what about no conferences at some point for football?
I'm fine with that.
How about you just do this for basketball, every sport? This what y'all want to do? Let's do this in every sport.
Sports where people won't get hurt.
And then we say 0 conferences anymore for football. Yeah. What do you think about that?
That's fine with me. I mean, or a sign based on,
because Tom, do you get rewarded for winning a conference championship?
Can we not do relegation too? I mean,
yeah, that too.
I mean,
but like, don't they use the 8? What are the numbers that whatever this formula is, that the win percentage numbers? What do they call it? The RPI,
ADM.
No, not the ADM. That's the attendance. Okay. The RPI numbers that they use at the end of the year for the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's the only thing they use anyway, right? They don't care if you win the conference championship. You don't get like anywhere for winning the conference championship. So
no, I think that they do
top 11.
They do conference champion, then they do RPI of conference.
But
champion.
What I'm saying is that why even worry about that anymore? Wouldn't it be more better if we're just going to do RPI anyway? We won't have 11 seed that shouldn't be hosting an 18 seed.
Right.
And so then you play whatever schedule you want. Shelby and Burns can make whatever schedule they want. If you want your RPI to look a certain way, it'll show up a certain way. But I think schools at this point, if the Athletic Association is going to fail this horribly every freaking time, that they should just outright do 0 football conferences. Everything else, you play your little basketball conference and you can play everybody twice in it and run and cross country and everything else. But football, they need to fix it. That's ridiculous. That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. 10 years of it. Or 8? How many do this? Every 4 years?
4 or 5.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have 8 to 10 years of Highland Tech and Shelby football. Good job, State of North Carolina.
Yeah, it's beyond stupid. The Crest Conference. Go on down there to that because that covers.
Is it on this page?
I'm trying to look. East Burke, High Brighton, R Central. That's where the Rutherford County schools ended up. I'm looking for
East Lincoln, Hickory, North Lincoln, Bandy's, Bunker Hill, Fred T. Ford, Maiden, Newton Conover, and West Iredale. So they threw basically East Lincoln and Hickory and North Lincoln in there with the Catawba County, whatever. Have a good day, Brooke.
Thank you, Brooke.
586.
It's down there in the bottom.
Crest, Forest View, Hunter Huss, North.
The Big South is the same.
It's the Big South. Yeah, it's basically the Big South.
You go down a little bit farther.
Who did they lose in the Big South?
I see the Mountain Conference.
Stuart
Kramer's the only thing that's not in there.
They moved ACU back. Well, no, they were already in that conference.
So there's some of your conference folks. Man, just what a total abject failure. Always is.
Always is. Never underestimate the state of North Carolina's ability to screw up athletics.
A 2A, 3A, 4A conference, and you stick Highland Tech, and there's other 2A, 3A, 4A conferences around us in there with.
Why would you spread out that? Why not put the 2As together? If you're going to have multiple 2A, 3A, 4A conferences, I don't know.
For you Rutherford County folks, you got East Rutherford, Chase, Drone, RS Central, High Brighton, East Burke, Patton, West Caldwell. West Caldwell's got to drive forever. Good grief. So like we worry about Highland Tech's travel. West Caldwell's going to have to travel at least an hour to almost everywhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good job, North Carolina. All right, JP, we're going to wrap it up here unless Tom has anything else on that travesty.
No, I tried to get the basketball tournament schedule and I just couldn't get it.
I'll print out some fancy artwork next week so we can read get these conferences a little bit better.
Yeah,
and
I'd like
laugh
to.
at them.
I'd like to know what the Big South Conference schedule was and all that, but I don't know if we'll have any coverage of any of it. I got to get with Calvin, but conference tournaments next week. The following week is the first week of playoffs, which coincides with the first week of spring, which is another great job by the state of North Carolina. Let's have our first week of winter playoffs, the first week of spring sports. Nailed it, guys. Nailed it again. You're great, man.
All right, we're back. KDCBroadcasting.com.